to go through a season undefeated. Let's enjoy ourselves tonight, and we're a team, so we stick together. There's no driving if you're on the thing, get a swag, and we'll be all together tomorrow.
I want to say congratulations, lads. Pretty much same as last year, boys. I keep saying I can't believe what sort of football team you actually can draw from a small town. It's actually a massive credit to you. You even made me put my beer down out there when you started talking about your cricket and your bloody football teams. And you know, I'm great mates with Wes. I know a lot about you guys, and I've got that much respect for this community. What you put out in the field there is fucking fantastic for country football. Be proud of yourself and enjoy your time. I guarantee you, you know, we're very disappointed. We thought we had a go, had a crack at you, but you proved us wrong again, so well done.
Kyancutta boys get a clearance. Central A boys, tell us, Mark.
Good smother by Stringer. Tackle by Stringer.
Oh,
and the doggies might be out
away.
here.
They've got a bit of space in the middle of the ground.
Corey Waters on that left. He's got Zachy fit tonight. I reckon he might have him.
Good grab.
Push back, Ken, push back!
Thank you. Oh, this is touch and go here for distance too, I reckon. But
it'll be 30 seconds. This might be. Fuck.
He won't have a crack, I reckon. Any score will do.
Shit, I didn't think it was that close. I thought we still had a few minutes left.
What? That's right.
Not high scoring, so they probably haven't been a lot of time on.
True. It's a good kick. And the home crowd is loving that.
Keep it tight!
10. No, it's 10 seconds left. You can't really do much in 10 seconds, can you?
Just can't fault the real bloody effort. It's been a good game, actually.
Yeah, they've thrown everything into it. They needed to win today to kick fourth spot, so.
Yep.
So, yeah, this will make the next round pretty interesting.
It will, actually.
Your ball tie!
It's Ty and who you got there, Bone?
Maybe Kelsh's back in there again.
Yep.
I'm not sure, he went out in the last few minutes. I'm not sure why. He should have stayed in there. He's a #1 ruckman. He should have stayed there. But.
Yep. The boys are pretty happy with that. Yep.
Yellow boots too, I said. It's a bit different from your day with the boots.
Yeah.
You didn't have fluoro boots, Wal?
No.
What were your boots like?
They were old ankle boots.
What sort of boots did you have?
Oh yeah, I had first up had the old boots with the sprigs. They used to cut the sprigs fairly, say, an inch square, or might be quite that. First start, they had to put another one on top, a bit smaller, and another one on top of that, and then nail them to your boots. And they were a little bit helpful, but then we got the aluminium ones, and the nails around them. They were a lot better. Yeah. And now you got them, of course, on the boots as they make them.
But certainly on those old grounds, it would, you know.
Pretty hard on your feet, all right?
Yeah, I reckon.
Yeah.
Because some of them didn't have a lot of.
There was an old fella up
There wasn't much grass.
Stringy Bay by the name of Joe Dace. You blokes probably some, wouldn't you? Yeah, Joe Dace. He was a great storyteller. Anyhow, there was a few of us young fellas up there, and we were talking about the old oval out here where the water used to lay on down the bottom. And the young fella was saying, oh, yeah, it's just about impossible to play footy with all this water. And old Joe Dace, he was a good old fellow and a bit of a good storyteller. And he said, oh, you blokes wouldn't know anything about playing on the wet oval. He said, up here at Streaky Bay a couple of years ago, he said it rained and it rained and it rained. And he said, the oval was completely covered with water, and he said down the bottom end where the water used to lay was at least a foot deep, and up the top end, it wasn't so bad, it was about two inches deep. And then he said they had to abandon the match. And one of our young blokes said, what, it's too wet? Old Joe Day said, no, the umpire stepped on a rayfish.
Ladies and gentlemen, Andy McKenna.
Which was the first oval you played on?
The old was what they call the swamp one at Kyancutta.
So that was your first ground?
Yeah, but they had one out from Kyancutta, probably a K out, your southwest of Kyancutta. Years ago they had an oval out there. I never have seen it, but I know they used to play footy out there years and years ago, the old timers.
Yep.
So that could be it there.
Is...
I don't think this is our swamp oval because we used to have a lot of scrub around that side and others. I don't know.
Yeah,
Doesn't look like. Looks different though.
Looks different, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But this is about 1925, 26.
Oh, right, yeah.
So it's probably about the time the old one was being played on, probably. Mind you, from what I see of the swampy one, it looks better than the... Do you know why they moved to the swamp?
No, that was the first time I've, yeah.
What was it
Well,
like?
I don't know. I suppose closer to the town would have been one reason. I don't know. But it was a farmer's land they were playing on out. You know, when they were playing outside, like I said, the first old oval out west or southwest of Kyancutta, and that was just a farmer's land, and perhaps he might have wanted to plough it up and crop it and things. I don't know. Yeah.
What was it like playing on the swamp?
Oh, you just put up with it, yeah, not too bad. We reckon it was all right anyhow. Yeah. It was wasn't too good in the wet weather. That was down the bottom end, there was what they call the swamp, and it was sort of slippery stuff and hold the water, and up the top end was a bit better, put it that way.
Been a few saffrons up there.
Yeah, there was. Yeah.
But, so I'm told that the saffrons weren't too bad. You had a nice hot bath, and they'd come up in a little pustule, and you'd pop it, and out would come the
little point of the saffron scissors would stick in your hands. Yeah, yeah, you get them to squeeze them. Yeah, they sort of festered up a little bit and give them a
pop them out.
Out they come.
Stuart, made men of you probably.
Yeah.
Well, from where the change room's there, straight through to where that bush is, all this area, this end of was swamp, and when it got wet, it was greasy like here now, and you'd be into that much water. You would have heard there last night they're talking about. It'd be like a lake really, and from there up back towards the scrub. There's where that's where all the saffrons were. And you learn to, like they said, you learn to keep your feet. But the saffrons were good. They festered up in a couple of days, and you just pop them out, and out comes the splinter. And
out comes the splinter. Yeah.
Yeah. And probably in the summertime, before the next season started, up the top end, this end, the saffron thistles, they used to grow pretty thick up there, and of course before the season started, someone would get out with harrows or a chain and knock them all down. And
remember cutting where the saffron says we used to cut them off with a slasher, and you have spikes sitting up like that.
Did it make a man of you, Graham?
You made sure you tried to stand up. I remember cutting them myself.
Is that right? So it taught you to stay on your feet?
Well, you wouldn't want one of them in your leg or something.
Yeah. No, and you would have had a few.
And anyway, it taught us blokes to not fall to the ground. Otherwise, you know what happened. You got a saffron somewhere where it didn't really want it. Yeah.
Swamp.
The thistles.
Thistles and swamp.
So what, you actually moved the oval? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
different oval to where it is now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It was only just through the northeast corner.
Well, let's just go over here.
better watch out. You're on Salt Lake here.
Well, this surface is
You
pretty
would have
much
heard
like
that.
it was when you were playing on it.
No, there's the oval out here.
Oh, so that's it over there?
This is the oval. See where that fence is on the other side? That's virtually the boundary on the other side.
Right.
You are virtually damn near on the oval here now.
Right, okay. Well, if you stay around about there, oh, actually we want to get that old building maybe in the background, or
The tin one was the visitors' change room.
okay. Well, if we go just over here, and you can be just in front of me there. And at the moment, you're standing on the flank.
I would be on the bloody damn near centre wing here.
Yep.
The middle was just over here.
And what was this building over here?
The tin one was the visitors' change rooms, and the brick one here was Kyancutta change rooms, and you can see the old remains of the thing to have hot water, what the showers. But
Now that was oval, bigger than Woodner Oval.
Really?
I don't know if it's still there, to be honest.
There's nothing there.
Yeah.
Because it's all swamp.
Oh, because it's all swamp. So you played on swamp.
Well, latter years, yeah. Latter years it come in and the salt just spread right over, except for one little pocket and flank.
So you had one little patch of...
Yeah, well that's where the saffron was.
Saffron, and the rest was...
The rest was just...
Was, well, salt encrusted swamp, I guess.
Yeah, I never come to swamp, but it was... Nothing grew there.
No, really? So really playing on dirt, yeah.
But it was a very big oval.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, which would have been great. It would have been pretty hard on the knees all round though, really.
Oh, yeah. Swamp wasn't too bad to lob on because it was a bit soft.
Yeah, that's true actually.
Instead of like Yanani that was red soil with little pebbles on it.
Yeah.
And clover burrs. Yeah, take the skin off.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they were good days, and I think a lot of the guys have elaborated. We were fortunate enough. We were brought up with some good old genuine guys and played the game in the right spirit, and it was passed on by all those guys. And yeah, they were good times. Yeah. What else you want to know?
What are you holding there?
The shield or something? Yeah, it's the shield, but which one it was, I don't know. We must have won the grand final.
Yep.
That's the end of the cup. This fella was a brilliant footballer, Vinnie Sampson. You probably met Madigan or Graham, whatever it was. That was his dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got no idea what shield it was, but yeah, he was one of the top players around here when I first started off in here. And he played quite a few games with me, well, I played with him, same team. Yeah, no, he was brilliant. Like,
Who's in that one?
This one's a Mullins.
Dave Mullen.
Eh?
That's Dave Mullen.
Dave Mullen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ron Holman.
Mullen, yeah.
Gee. Norm Mullins. Johnny O'Brien, is it?
Yeah, looks like.
That Mick? Your brother Mick?
Could be. No.
No, there's Mick there.
That must be Corbett.
It must be Dave, yeah.
I haven't got the glasses.
Henry's on this end, Bendy behind.
So you obviously played against Henry. You played against Henry.
Yeah. Against him, he was good.
Very good, I hear.
Yeah. He was, but what I always felt when I ever played footy against Kyancutta, you either, if you didn't get Mick McKenna, you got Dave McKenna.
Because they can all play.
And they're all better than me.
What position do you play?
Mainly in the back line.
Really? So you were in real trouble? Yeah. And where did Henry play?
He was in that forward pocket.
Really? Resting?
Benty Sampson would be full forward, Henry in a forward pocket. Well, usually you have to look after one, but with that job you had to look after two.
And not just any two?
No. Kyancutta, all due respects, were the top side. They went out there to win the football, and some of our jokers, sometimes you're worried about it. I always thought Bill Williams came to Warramboo and he installed the football into us. We were a bit lazy until Bill Williams came to there.
And he taught you how to win?
He taught you how to win, and then we won. Bill Williams was coach when we won, and we probably might have been battling to not win, but a chap called Merv Goods came from Ungara. He was a good footballer, and he always could beat anybody. And he wasn't a real tall chap, but he didn't care how big the ruckman was. Goodsy always won. And that's what you had to get into your club.
Regardless of the odds, go out and win the footy.
That's right.
I think the mascot there is Paul May, I'm not sure of that.
What's that, sorry Gus?
That's me as the mascot.
How old were you there?
I think I was only about 5.
You're in good company?
Yes, yeah, because of my Uncle Henry being the captain, I suppose, at the time.
This being your Uncle Henry?
Yes, yeah, my mum was McKenna. And I believe we lost the grand final this year because Warramboo won it. And I was mascot the year we lost, so that's my recollection, but it's a long time ago.
And we had to play Kyancutta in that grand final, and there would have been quite a lot of people said that Kyancutta will kill them. And there was only Guts that we won.
It was close?
No, we would have won by 5 or 6 goals, with just off memory.
You ran away at the end, or you ran away early?
No, got away in front of them. And if you didn't get in front of Kyancutta, you were left behind. We had a few good footballers, like Kev Keast was a hell of a good footballer. I think it was in the family because Max, his brother, came over and played for Kyancutta. And then we had a few others come there and they all worked out pretty good. I think that's what helped us a bit. Merv Goods coming there and working for Artie Wagner. Well, that was a big lift. And ruckman, you couldn't cope with him. But I think Kyancutta would say that's baloney, but I don't think it was.
Well, they couldn't cope with you in 1955.
No, that's right. No, well, Merv done the job in 1955. And Teddy Sampson, he was a Warramboo Sampson, but by hell, he was a good footballer.
And he played in that team too?
Yeah. So.
What about afterwards? What did it feel like to... I mean, premierships are special, but to beat Kyancutta and win the first one, the only one in the club's history, what was the celebrations like?
Well, they're pretty good. We, Bill Williams said, you got to all get on the stage at Woodley that night of the dance. And when they went to get on the stage, there was only me and 2 others turned up. The others were outside somewhere boozing.
Why did they hate Warramboo so much?
I don't know why that all came into it, because when I came down from Penong to play footy at Warramboo, I couldn't believe the trouble there was between the clubs. And I remember standing old Dave Mullins one day, and all he done was to condemn Warramboo. So we don't know what it all was, and now they've amalgamated Kyancutta and Warramboo. They stick up for one another.
Well, hang on, he's found an option, or he's looked for an option. And he's looked for his brother. Yeah, Jesse Stringer fended the ball forward. Jake Sampson's picked it up, run down the ground, kicked it to Zach Fitzgerald. Zach Fitzgerald looks inbound to his brother Paddy.
Now look how mobile.
He keeps running.
Look how mobile
right.
the
He keeps
doggies
running
look.
on the left. Jake Sampson back in the action again, spun out.
Oh, he's gone, he's gone.
We'll say he spun into trouble.
Well, look, the doggies had it there, and that's been the key to the game.
Here we go, here we go. Big Kelsey, no. Good grab from the big fella. Big Kelsey. Down into the forward lines. Jackson Joyce, good punch. In front of Dale Mont.
Oh, well done.
Jackson Joyce won the footy again, been pushed off it. Ball still in play.
Oh, geez. The experience there of Dale Mont and the size.
No, very well, good hard football.
Just move Joyce off the ball there a little bit. And that's what it is to play.
Ball's come out, Tucker's kicked it forward.
Oh, almost a mark there.
Dylan Mont, Lockie Heath,
Stringer.
To Jesse Stringer, out in front of Jake
Bruce,
Bruce, who looks up forward. Got Nails O'Brien out on the lead. Too fast for him.
Now we've got a
Off
couple
in pursuit we go.
Oh!
Derek Kelsey's end up with the footy. Handballs it back to, not sure who that was. Kicked it across the face of goal. Is that young Rudog out there? No?
Yep, Jake McAvoy, number 2.
Yep, out in front of...
Jake McAvoy and Scotty Mont, they very similar.
Jakey Sampson's picked it up, handballed it to Jesse Stringer. Jesse Stringer sent it fair inbound to Nails. Nails runs in to an open goal.
Can I say it? Can I say it? He nailed it.
He did nail it. He did nail it. Beautiful call, big fella. Beautiful call.
Can we talk about this team?
Yeah.
Or do you want to hold on to that?
I can't see that properly from there.
Who's in there?
You won't know a lot of them. How would I be able to see a bit more?
Mm-hmm.
Haven't got it. Is it going?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, this team here is what they call a winning team. When you can double Kyancutta scores, you're a bit more than that. There was old Bill Stevens, bus driver, Bill Sampson, Arthur Dolphin, Max Sampson, Clem Stiggins, Joe Hammond, Kev Keast, Merv Goods, Fred Pedler, Artie Wagner, Lloyd Dolphin. Start again with Brian Collins, Ted Sampson, Wally Sampson, Stan Matthews, Dean Tonkin, Max Skinner, and we'll start again with Spud Murphy, Trevor Adams, the umpire from Adelaide. We never ever got his name, but he was a good umpire, he favoured us. Bill Williams, Roger Sampson, Donald Collins, Jackie Starkey, and Johnny Richter. That's the football team that done the job. And they said we couldn't do it, and we done it. Yep. But that was the top team. And when you hear old Henry McKenna talking there, he was fair dinkum too. That's why I really liked Kyancutta, because they were tough fellas. I forgot all my premierships and things like that.
Well, if you play for Kyancutta, you probably would forget because there's so many.
Yeah, well, I was a few. Yeah, we had a pretty good side.
And how'd your brothers go?
Oh, Mick was pretty good. Yeah, that was the second one. The youngest, eldest brother. And the other, Dave, he wasn't too bad, but he wasn't quite up to. He used to play a bit, but just handy. Put it.
Of course, there was no B grade in those days.
No Colts, B grades or anything. You straight ahead to go.
Yeah. What was that like coming in as a 15-year-old playing with the Blokes, which they still do these days, of course?
What was that?
What was it like as a 15-year-old playing against those Blokes?
Oh, yeah, it was a great experience. Actually, I come straight out of college, and I'd done all right at college. I got into the A grade anyhow at college, and I could run a bit and use the ball a little bit. So I used to keep out of strife because I was pretty small and light. So I had to just make use of my pace and get out the road before I got skilled.
Which was good training for coming and playing against the Blokes.
Well, when we were kids, we never used to go to the footy because there was a depression on, and our parents were very poor, with like others, a lot of other people were very poor. And yeah, we never used to get to the footy, like them days, whatever year that was. See, I started off in 1943, but I was about 15 then, so I'd probably never seen a footy match before that, put it that way. Or if I did, I'd been a kid and playing around, wouldn't have taken notice of the players and things like that. Yeah. So, yeah, that's Benty Sampson, George North, Kevin North, Dave McKenna, my brother. That's the Robert North bloke I was telling you about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Legend.
Yeah. He was Mick O'Brien, Peter O'Brien, Madigan Sampson, Ron May, old Cyril North, Barry Ryder, he was there yesterday, Mick, my brother, Cyril Matthews, Kev Stringer, should know that bloke too, can't remember, Fred Hire, Cyril Hire, Buller Stringer, Dud Owen, Percy Matthews, John North, Doug North, and myself, and Jack O'Brien.
This bloke's a bit of a legend.
That's Cyril Hire. Not Cyril, Freddie Hire, yeah. That's right. That's him.
Tell me about him.
Yeah, no, he had knee troubles. Yeah, he was only a little short bloke, probably a little bit shorter than me, only not much. A little bit sturdier perhaps, but yeah, he had the skills, but yeah, his knees packed up on him, so he had to give it away. Like some of them.
And what about this young bloke? He must have been just starting then.
That's Madigan. Yep. Yeah, he must have been pretty young. Yeah. No, he was the bloke that won 4 male medals for Kyancutta. Or four Kyancutta. 4 male medals.
And a lot of premierships. And how did he go when he was just starting?
Oh, he's pretty good, yeah. He's had the skills of what he had, you know. Yeah, him and his brother Joe, they were pretty talented even before they started, because they were that keen on football with his dad, and he used to kick the footy with them all that when they were kids, and got them going, telling them where they were making mistakes, holding the ball and things like that, you know, how to kick. Yep, and they kicked off pretty good.
And you would have seen him play, Madigan?
Yeah.
What was he like as a player?
Yeah, good, brilliant.
How did he play?
Oh, he's just into it all the time, you know, and a beautiful kick. All drop kicks them days. And, you know, then later on he's played a bit of full forward. I don't know where Joe was then.
And what was his strengths then, Madigan?
Just about all over the ground. He was a good mark, pretty accurate kick, had the ball skills and fair bit of pace. Yep. Yep. No, he was good.
Two-sided?
What?
Two-sided? He could kick both legs? Or?
Oh yeah. When he got into trouble, yeah, he was a right legger, but he could kick some long distance goals. I can remember that. He used to play centre in the finish. Most of his career in the centre. When he got going, you know, when he's only allowed when he got say up around 17 or 18, he probably played centre for the rest of his life. Probably not all the time, but yeah, he was a top footballer in our club. Had the record, so he have to be, I suppose.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Yeah. I guess they would have come and chased him.
I guess they would have, but yeah, he would have made it too, I think, once you know, get over there and get a bit fitter and get a bit more educated.
You ever see him play?
Graham Sampson, yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Oh, you would have played against him probably a bit, actually, at the end of his career.
I think I didn't. I reckon. Yeah, I don't reckon I played when Graham was playing, but certainly Barry I started playing as a Colt when Barry Sampson was playing. I know someone, Greg Du Bois, who well known at Woodner, made the comment that he said that Graham Sampson could have played anywhere he wanted at any standard. Like, so that's a pretty big comment, isn't it? So,
And Greg
certainly I watched Graham as a kid, and I remember him, as a great player for Kyancutta, and you know, obviously, one, as you just heard then, you know, rated very, very highly.
Oh, he's two-sided?
Yeah, super sportsman, yeah.
But I've been very fortunate to play for this club. They've really done a lot for me and my brothers and so forth. And I can get back to Henry McKenna again. He worked for Dad in his younger days. And a lot of people ask me the question, how did you get your name Madigan? And I believe Henry named me that for the reason there used to be a boxing tent used to come around all the shows around the country, and people used to go and try and challenge these blokes for fights and so forth. And I was only a little fella about that iron when he'd come down and work for the old man, and Henry'd always shave up you with a fist all the time, and I'd try and come back at you. And that's how I got my name, I think. Is that right, Henry?
You talk about fighting, Madigan. Did you ever fight with Joe?
Yeah, we had our times. Yeah, we probably did with drum tooth. But most importantly, on the football field, we got on pretty well.
You would have played against him. Did you play against him directly on any occasions, or as your immediate opponent?
I probably would have done over the years, yeah.
What was he like then? He was pretty tough, I guess, being a Samson.
Oh, yeah, no, he was a good footballer. And also played with him in many association games.
Of course you would have too, actually.
And stuff, and he captained the side for a fair period, 5 or 6 years or more. Yeah. And no, I guess I probably learnt something off of him by playing with him. And I know he's a pretty fair footballer.
What was his position?
He mostly around the centre. Yeah, yep. That's where I spent a fair bit of time when I was younger.
But I do remember a couple of times, and one lucky enough to play in the inter-association up at Streaky Bay. There was a fella called Buff Tyrrell and Madigan Sampson. And they were just smacking each other all day long. And I thought, I better not get in the middle of those two. I don't know how to fight. But after the match, down to the pub, and who was leaning on each other and laughing their heads off? But Buff and Madigan. So I learnt the story about what happens on the field stays on the field.
You can probably tell me a bit about Graham Sampson.
Yeah, well, he was our first coach, I reckon, in A grade, all us guys.
What's he like as a coach?
Brilliant, yeah. They taught us, they were good teachers, them fellas, you know, Madigan and Joe and Jack May and Gus May and Peter O'Brien, all that mob.
Well, how did they coach?
Oh, well, I suppose just, yeah, they, you know, you looked up to them. You admired them, really. When you wanted to play for them, simple as that.
So they weren't really so much into the science of it, they were more like, you know, carried that sort of weight that they told you to play better, you basically did.
Yeah, you dug in a bit.
Right, all you blokes play a bit better. Yeah. Oh, shit, Madigan, all right.
Yeah, exactly, you know, no, like the whole lot of us sort of come through at the same time. There's about 8 or 9 of us. We're all the same class at school and everything. We all started playing, and he was a bloke that sort of, well, Joe and all them blokes that got us all going, really.
So which 7 or 8 are you talking about?
Oh, it was Clyde Matthews, Fitzy, Gary Fitz, Charlie McKenna, John McKenna. There's a fair old crew of them. Yeah.
All good players.
Oh yeah, yep. I think most of them played association footy. Yeah, and we're all and they, you know, only 15, 16 when we all started playing association footy, really.
It's notable that Kyancutta area produces really large families of boys.
Yeah.
You know, that's mentioned in, it was mentioned on the night.
Yeah.
families of 4 and 5 boys who all go on to play A-grade footy.
Yeah. Yeah, and then a couple of years after that, another lot come through, you know, like Ash, my brother, and Blue McKenna and Ted Stringer, and, you know, the same names. And they were all good footballers too.
They keep on popping out champions.
Yeah, yeah, and amazed.
Up to the half-back flank. Pack of players up. Man in front is Darryl Montgomery. Up to the centre wing. McKenna from behind takes a well-judged mark, plays on quickly onto his left foot, comes up to Peter Durden. Got a couple of yards on his player there, made a good position.
Only the last few days you start to go through a couple of photos and you start to add up what actually happened, and I reckon the old man had 5 boys, Jackie Richter had 5 boys, Betty had 3 and Norm had 3. And I reckon if you follow those lads through, I reckon 12 of them might have played association footy.
Yep.
Out of the 15. Yeah. So the club done the right thing to give itself depth in that era, and all those blokes supported the club pretty great.
Yeah, you keep naming, don't you? You know, Stringers, Matthews and Samsons and things. Like, keep going like that.
Yeah, they all seem to be having boys too.
Yeah, that's trouble, isn't it? So there's probably another Central Air or Premiership will come along, isn't there?
Easily. Yeah. Yeah, Spog's got 3 boys, no girls, so
Something in the water there.
It's going to be dangerous.
Yeah, and the strong boys around Kyancutta, it's just like it's like genes, isn't it? Like if your parents are big and strong, then the kids are going to be big and strong. And I can remember playing against Kyancutta, and there's only very few under 6 foot at times. So and we used to struggle against their size at times.
And you're not 6 foot.
I'm about half that. I guess when I was a youngster playing, I remember Gary Fitzgerald was always a super player for Kyancutta. Unfortunately, he seemed to go down with knee injuries, which was, you know, unfortunate. And maybe in this day and age, though, with a medical, they would have got him back playing. But yeah, he was probably as good as anyone going around. But unfortunately, he seemed to run into strife with knee trouble. But
he could play.
Oh, a very good player. Yeah, yep. And of course, you would have heard of Barry Sampson, or known as Joe Sampson. Yeah.
A terrific full forward.
Oh, amazing! Yeah, I remember as a colt watching Joe Sampson kick for goal, and you just hope every now and then he might kick a point, but very rarely it happened. Yeah, if they could, if the AFL could kick goals like Barry Sampson, he'd be the man to go and teach him how to kick, because he was an amazing shot for goal, as well as being a very cunning and good player, you know, as far as getting the ball and delivery goes. But as far as kicking goals and not kicking points, he was the absolute standout. So yeah, he seemed to have that sorted.
But you know, you had blokes like Percy and the Norths, and yeah, Max Fitch was pretty good, and you know, the Stringers were good. So you know, there's plenty I forgot too. And then towards the end of my go, you know, there was Madigan. He was handy, I suppose. I got a couple kicks from him, and.
Did you get to play with Joe?
I played with Joe, yeah. He was a couple of years older than me. We started playing when the Colts for Lee Hunt started about 1960, I suppose, and went through and played right through till we retired.
Tell me about him as a footballer.
Joe was an uncanny footballer. He wasn't that tall, but he was a great overhead mark. His judgment was superb, and kicked a lot of goals using a drop kick in those days. He didn't use his left leg a lot, but he could, and it was very accurate when he did. But Joe would kick, you know, 80–90% of his set shots were always goals. and very competitive. The opposition obviously put their best fullback on him every week, and he'd come up week after week after week, get battered, get belted from behind, and manage to mark the ball and give us a good score. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, you could. There's heaps there, and I think that's why we're such a good side. Probably in the latter years, you had blokes like Clive, and he was pretty handy. Although I found him very hard to work out, Clive. He was a bugger to play in front of because he'd take a spectacular mark or do something spectacular, but then he'd do it, you know, I'm thinking, oh, I've got him worked out, I'll make a lead. So I take off, and then he decides to take a circle around the buddy right back to the pack.
Front through, Schubert takes an easy mark. Ball goes to the forward pocket, controlled there by Matthews, who takes a bit casually, turns back on his left foot, now he's right. Looks for a player up centre, looking for Warmington. Warmington takes a good diving mark.
Probably one of the greatest players that I played against that played for Kyancutta and Central Air would have been Clive Matthews. I still rate Clive as, yeah, probably the, along with Skeeter Reid, as the two best players I've ever seen in the Midwest League. Yeah, special player, Clive Matthews.
Good overhead.
Oh, he's like a Graham Corns in the air, and on the ground, he was, you know, great manoeuvrable skills. You had a job to catch him as well, because you sort of swing his body around. He was a bit like Wayne Carey. He sort of had it in the air and had it on the ground, and those blokes are pretty hard to deal with.
Tell me about.
That's Lindsay Matthews.
Tell me about him.
Yeah, well, he was a good footballer. He had a couple of years of, I don't know what team he played for in Adelaide, but being a country bumpkin, he wanted to get back home again. Yeah, no, he was pretty good, Lindsay. Yeah, he's well, Percy's son.
We'll just go back to Kiam when you were playing back in the 50s. Did you in the 50s, whatever? So can you just enlighten us on some of, like, my uncle, Percy Matthews? Somebody you reckon he was as tough as you'd see? I can remember him when I was only a little fellow, and I know everyone used to talk about him. He's been a great footballer and a tough man.
Alan Matthews, Percy Matthews. Yeah. He had a bit of a run here in Adelaide.
Yes. Apparently he was a tremendous footballer.
Yeah. You wouldn't want to run into him.
Yeah.
Well, even his own teammates, you had to watch out for him. Because he had an eyes on the ball and he was straight for it.
Yeah. Old Bill Williams, called him Old Bill because he was in his, well, nearly 40, I think, would have been when he finished playing football. But he was a tough bloke. And he said to me one day, if you don't jump in front of Percy Matthews, you'll never stop him. And Percy's coming down across to the pitch there, and I thought, this is it. So I got in front of him, and I reckon he trotted on me 3 times going over the top of me. And everybody knows how tough Percy Matthews was. Bill said, well, you steadied him up a bit. And I said, what about me? I said, I'm sore all over. And I'll never forget Percy Matthews.
Yeah. Indeed.
He was a fair player.
He played
you saw him play?
Yeah.
I started playing with him. He was playing when I started playing.
Yeah, really,
Yeah, that's Dave Mutland.
Yep.
George North.
Yep.
Percy Matthews.
Yeah, Alan Matthews, Percy as we called him. He was a very great guy, as well as George North. two great guys to have in your side when he's a young fella trying to get a kick in the local football. I'm sure Mick can tell you the same thing, and plus as the other young fellas around. When we started, you had all the confidence in the world of getting in there trying to do something because you know these other guys around looking after you. I remember one time there was a big fella from Lock, John Waugh. He played a little bit of league football. One particular day in a grand final we was playing Lock at Woodner. There was a throw-in of the boundary and George North was rucking, very strong, tough character, and this John Waugh was probably 6 inches taller, had an extra foot, 10 inches leap over him. Anyhow, George just ran straight into him and boom, down he went. And John, as he's getting up off the ground, he called him a dirty bee. And George spun around and said, "What did you call me?" So he said it again, bang. And that was it, down he went. That's the type of guys that George and Percy were to our club as far as I'm concerned, because they looked after us young fellas day in and day out. And we had all the confidence in the world of trying to do this or that or whatever. Yeah. They were good guys. Yeah.
So who's that bloke talking?
Dean Stringer. Buller. Yeah.
The famous Stringers.
Yeah, and then you had Lionel, Kev. I reckon that might even be them now, I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The bloke you're talking to there was a fair footballer, Neville Benke. Very, very good.
You would have played with him in rep?
Yeah, played against him and played with him. Yeah, just tremendous pace, like, you know, outstanding pace, and you know, and good disposal as well.
And built like a brick shit house.
Yeah, very good player, Neville Benke. He's probably one of the best players around, I reckon, to have played for Kyancutta. I reckon, if my memory's right, I reckon he even made state country, and that was back, you know, when country footy would have been pretty strong. So yeah, very, very good player.
Of course, he's he's at Kungua, so he's a Wadaki Rovers stock, really.
Yeah, yep.
Of course, the club Kyancutta did pretty well when Wadaki Rovers folded.
Yeah, had some tremendous sportsmen out that way. You know.
Were you talking that way? You talking the Stringers?
Stringers, Matthews, Benkies.
The Matthews, big time. Percy Matthews, in fact, was Wadaki Rovers. He played.
Right. See, that's
a lot of footy with Wadaki Rovers before he went over to Kyancutta.
Yep.
Did you ever play for Wadaki Rocks?
No, Wadaki down.
Oh, you played Wadaki.
Yeah, as at the Colt. Then but we went to school in Woodner. So and all that went to school at Kungwa first, just down the road here, and that's where Charlie McKenna and Clyde Matthews and all them, we were all in the same class. So then went up there and played footy up there.
We'll have a look at Malcolm Olsen and Simpson, Payne, Stiggins, Frisky. Should know him, but I can't. Clem Holman. John McKenna, he's a nephew of mine. That looks like my son Charlie. Got his mouth open, Ron Hire. Oh, lads, I've forgotten them. I've forgotten half of them. Oh, that's me as a trainer, I suppose.
Yeah, so you were a trainer for a fair while?
Yeah, quite a few years, yeah.
And that's how it all started, I suppose.
So Clive Matthews, they played Wadaki as well? Or?
Nah, they all still played for Kyancutta, but we played for Wadaki. Oh, I did. Brother and I, Ash and I, played for Wadaki, and then we moved into Kyancutta. I think it was the first year when they had the new oval.
What I want to know for a start, now you go right back to your dad. Where did he start his football in Warramboo, was it that right?
I can't remember.
So it's in your hands, Buller.
In my hand.
Yeah.
Well, at a guess, I would say it would be at Wadiki Rock.
Wadiki Rock?
Wadiki Rock, yes, yes.
And then he went to Warramboo?
They come across to that area in 1928, and he was quite a sports person at Port Broughton before he left to come across here. That particular year he won the A-grade golf championship at 14, and he won a full bag of golf bag and sticks, and never ever used them because there's no golf clubs courses over here at that stage.
Yep.
So he sold them to buy a horse or somebody, I think.
Yeah.
But I'm sure he started at Wadiki Rock.
Yep.
All the stringers have been great up until Jesse. I mean, fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Out on the wing. He's got it all day. He's picked it up, handballed it to his mate and Jake Sampson. Jake, therefore, he's made it, he's gone to handball. Back to Keenan Bury. Keenan's beaten his man. Kicked it out in front of Ty McKenna. Ty, he's dropped what he probably should have taken. The Hawks now, therefore, got the footy. It's good, strong tackle. Umpire says give it here.
Central Air boys have been really making them pay.
Some Hawks jumped into each other then.
Yeah, Derek Freeman and Trav Brown, the two tools.
Yep.
Unless someone open, and
Jesse Stringer
kicks a goal. What's the score now, Fridge?
Jesse Stringer, he's just kicked the goal. Looks like he's got a bit of cramp. The score now is 15-12 to 9-7. Jesse last year, he played for the Geelong Cats. He hadn't probably done a lot today, but there's the class. You know, rises to the top when you need to.
Yeah, and the poor buggers, they had a fair bit of trouble with knees and that, you know, like Ted, Jesse's uncle. Yeah, he's a pretty handy footballer too, but he had trouble with his knees and he's on one leg all the time, actually, but he still have a crack. He used to be pretty tough, dude.
All the stringers are pretty hard at it.
Yeah, they used to get in a bit of strife. Yeah!
Kicks out in front of Jesse Stringer, takes a mark. Get out the road, he says. He's got an option in Hayden Heath, and that's a good grab.
That's execution.
It is. You don't play AFL for nothing. Fluffy's gone deep into the pocket, and mark taken there by
Number 8.
Martin Grokey.
No.
I was going to say, what's he doing up there?
Well, if he'd made it, number 6.
6.
Tassie.
Paddy Fitzgerald. I was going to say Martin Grokey, back pocket. Good spot for him.
Lost. Well, lucky there's no shot clock.
No problems with the distance here. Can give the football a ride. Central Air boys look pretty happy with that.
I'll tell you what, Nails is very happy with that. He started running before too long.
So yeah, what'd it be? Probably better than halfway through the first now, I suppose. That makes it 4-2, 26 to 2-1, 13.
Yeah, and then the Shane, Ted's brother, and Tommy. Well, Tommy done knees too, but Shane, he had to go at South Adelaide there for a while. He's a lot bigger bloke. He's a good footballer too, Boyle. Big left legger.
If they play anything, did they play anything like Jesse? I mean, the way that Jesse roughs up the player, and then kicks the goal, that's devastating.
Yeah, well, they were all a bit like that.
He's looking a bit wobbly, isn't he?
Looking very wobbly. Yeah, he's about to throw up.
It almost looks like he's got a... I'm not sure what's wrong with him. Righto, here we go. Umpires are waiting for him to... They've called time off. Time's back on, up it goes. Ty McKenna's probably won the tap there. Tapped across by Jake Sampson to Jesse Stringer. And Jesse Stringer has kicked the third for the Central Air boys.
The Central Air boys are definitely rocked up, switched on, that's for sure.
They
come out firing.
Yeah, well,
Hawk boys having a bit of trouble keeping up.
Throughout the year, the 3 times that they met in the club games, there was parties, people everywhere. We didn't meet each other with a full side.
Oh, Ted got reported a few times.
But they'll get reported, and then in the next 5 minutes they'll kick a brilliant goal.
Yeah, yeah. Ted used to play on the back lines. He's a back flanker.
Well, that's what Jesse does. Devastating.
Yeah. You can play a bit, old Jess.
On his left, put in the prickles, nails bodied out of the footy, backed up by Derek Kelch.
Sugar's hot.
Kirk Montgomery, down to Ty Habner.
It's about, good push off. Oh, well done. As a foot.
Oh, no.
What?
Zach Fitzgerald's taken the mark and he's had a go.
Oh.
And Jesse Stringer's come in and mopped it up at the end.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah. No, Jess is a good lad. They're all good lads with it too.
A bit of touch and go there, but he still found a way.
Dylan Montgomery got the footy on the wing.
There we go.
At the shore. Got an option down the ground.
Come on. There's got to be contested there.
Lockie Heath got the ball in front of him still. Now he's tackled his man. Hawks have got it, handball out.
Corey Cabot.
Straight
in there.
Kane Sampson, put the ball down. To Jared Sampson. Cross to Jake Sampson.
They could be out
Jake
here.
Sampson goes down to
great
Ty Habner. Ty Habner on the forward flank on the outer side.
He's looking for
Looks his options. Down deep, he's gone for the coach and nails. Bang, 3 deep, ball's hit the ground, no one's got it. Still to be won. Jesse Stringer sort of had it.
He's back in there now.
He's back in there again. Run around a couple. He spun around.
Oh, he's got time.
Don't mind if I do, he says. Back to Jake Sampson.
Yeah,
no
that's
real
straight down.
options.
That's straight down the nails there. He kept on contesting. He wasn't in it, but he's kept on contesting.
Buller's lads were. Paul played for Port Adelaide for a fair while. He played. He would have played a few league games, I reckon, but he mainly played seconds, fullback. He's a big, tall dude.
Could play.
Yeah, he could play. Yep. And then Freddie, the youngest one, he's the same. He played Port for a while. I think he kept him under 19s there 1 year. So.
Could play.
Yeah, they were pretty hard at it, boys too.
Actually, can I just ask you there, who were your idols growing up?
What, at Kyancutta? Probably all those blokes. Madigan, Joe, Jack, Gus, Lanky O'Brien, you know. Gary Olm was a brilliant, he used to play centre half back. Probably the best drop kick I've seen. He's a beautiful kick. Come out of centre half back and he'd hit Joe a lot of times. Thumping big long drop kicks. Yeah. No,
it was a team stuffed full of heroes.
Yeah, and they were all good blokes too, top dudes.
And they won the premiership just about every year, so.
Yeah, I suppose that, I mean, we're pretty privileged to go into that side.
Yeah.
You know, we were only lads and they were all experienced guys and looked after you like hell.
One of the storied clubs of Australia, really.
Yeah.
Winning that many premierships.
Yeah, exactly.
And with a official population of 26.
Is that right? Yeah. Yeah, well, a lot of, I suppose, all farmers, so you'll do the same thing. We only used to train once a week. And you know, you'd get in there just before dark, have a few kicks before the rest of the night you'd be running. That used to be bloody hell.
So it wasn't just the bloodlines, you had coaches who trained the guts out of you.
Oh, well, they
flogged the guts out of you.
They trained hard, yeah. Well, I wouldn't say they flogged the guts out of us, but they...
winning
Yeah.
teams do that to themselves.
Yeah.
Because that's where winning comes from.
Yeah, well, they set a standard, I suppose, so you got to keep up with that standard, don't you?
You certainly had to be a fair on standard just to break into that side, obviously.
Exactly.
When did you first play A-grade footy?
I think I might have played a couple of games in '73 and then '74 was my first year, probably.
Yep. So really at the tail end of all those great careers, so you're lucky.
Yeah, well, Madigan, I played with them a fair bit for a while, and all them fellas for a fair while, really.
There's never too long between drinks at Kyancutta or central area, is there?
No, not really, yeah.
Yep. What are they? There's something about a winning culture. Why did Kyancutta win when Warrnambool didn't?
What did they win?
Well, why did Kyancutta win so many and Warrnambool didn't?
Oh, just we had a stronger side, better players.
Yep.
Yeah, yes, they'll put a Warrnambool. I think they've only won grand final, put it that way.
Yeah.
And Kyancutta wise, Dad rated Henry the best player who played for Kyancutta. So well done, Kenner.
I noticed Joey Sampson said there last night that Benny Sampson named you as the best player to wear the Guernsey. So you can't pick yourself, you just pick 5 other blokes to go in the trench with you.
Yeah, well, That's right, I don't think Ben Sampson knew much about football. Saying that, he was one of the greatest footballers that I can remember in Kyancutta. I can remember him, Benny, he was a hell of a good goalsman, and he used to be able to, with his old, they used to call it the screw punt, and send him around, and he didn't miss very often. He was a very accurate kick, very fast leader, and a hell of a good handball. And I looked up to him for a start, yeah, and then after that, well, we're talking about the best footballer, were we? I'm not going to name myself. Yeah, fair enough. Anyway, getting back to the top footballers that I played with and against, there's quite a few, and one first come to my mind was Robert North. You probably knew him. He was a brilliant. He had everything going for him, but unfortunately, he, for some reason or other, he pulled out when he's right in his prime.
So there was a couple of guns in there. Of course, the Norths could play.
Yeah, they were pretty handy, yep.
It was long. And Curtis Turner up, tries to take them out off hands. Trev May puts the ball back forward. There's a push there. However, the mark is being played. Chico played.
It's Robert North's son, number 25.
I got him all balls up, asking him for a smoke there.
Number 25?
Yeah, it's Chico, Stephen North, that's Robert's lad. All these lads are pretty handy footballers. They didn't sort of start till they were, you know, they've played a bit of Colts, and then they were sort of in and out too. They sort of play 1 year and wouldn't play for a couple and then play again.
So it looks like they've made a change there. Troy's gone into the centre. Aaron Grokey goes up and gets the ball. Troy gets it out of centre. Kicks long, a long kick. You've got to spoil him. Well spoilt. Young Squeak McKenzie picks it up. Craig gets it, can't get around. Handball's back to no one in particular. Danger's there, picks the ball up, tries to dodge around, gets a kick to it, and be pretty unlucky to get caught for holding the ball. This West Central Air win this game. In this first quarter, they run on the ball. They're not stopping. They run on the ball very hard. Up to Chris. Then Chico misjudges the ball bad. Mike Baldock mops up, gives it over to Troy. Troy has a bit of a look there and pokes in, but the Central Air fellas come in and take the mark. Who's that young Mullins, is it? Damien Mullen. Big, tall, strapping young lad. Kicks the ball long down to centre half forward, and young North takes a good mark, swings onto his left leg, kicks long and looks for Fox Frisky, who takes a mark and plays on quickly. This is where Central Air are in front because they're playing on quickly and they're not looking for options. They seem to have plenty of open spaces here on a small oval. That's the siren for quarter time.
The scoreboard showing Central Air 5-3, Wirrala 1-1. This could be another handy goal, and it is. So that moves on to 6-goal threat to Central Air, 1 goal, 1 to Wirrala.
Oh, you know, even the North's, of course, playing for Woodner as well.
Well, he started at Central Air and then he went to Woodner, and he's pretty handy. That's Mark. That's another brother. All brothers. Then there's Lawrence. He's an uncle. Yep. He was a good player too. Yep. Beautiful kick.
Brilliant, but temperamental.
They were good players. Yeah. They were just but they follow footy. Chico, Stephen still brings his kid to footy now and follows, so he's always at footy and that, so it's good.
Well as well, young Kim's in there, does well. Should have grabbed it first grab, didn't fumble. This is a crucial mistake here. Tackled, Grokey gives it over to Keneally. Keneally fires it back. And Mark and by Gonzo, I think it was touched off the boot. Here we've got a loose man on the own, and the ball comes out to him. He turns on his right leg and kicks it straight over the goal umpire's head for a goal for Central Air. Central Air definitely seem to be getting their goals a lot easier.
There's Ian McKenna. He was a good player too. He's hard as nails.
Tell me about.
Yeah, well,
Ian McKenna.
Gonzo. yeah, he was a bit like Percy, what they're saying about Percy Matthews, you had to watch out. He was just...
His own teammate.
He was just hard at it. He, you know, had just, if he seen the ball, he just went and got it, didn't matter who's in the road.
He looks like a big unit.
Yeah, he done a lot of rucking. Yeah, he wasn't that tall, but he's just, he just run straight through.
Powerful.
Yeah, yeah, and he's a good kick and a good mark too.
Mm.
Yeah, he used to really attack the ball.
Goes in hard, young Kimmy Johnson gets the ball out on the wing. Britt Grokey's there to mop up. Going to be very dangerous run off that half-back flank, I feel. That was well played by Shane Kelsey, put his body over the ball. Young Frankie's got her, picks her up now, gives it to Curtis Turner. He's hit pretty hard, and I don't know what that was for, but Gonzo come out with a free kick. I didn't see what the umpire signalled. He goes in long.
Gonzo was playing with med stuck up his nose. He got his nose broken in the first quarter.
Young O'Brien over Frankie.
They soak up blood. So young, like Frankie Mail, he didn't play in the grand final the year before, but he played that year. And he's only a little fella. And Gonzo was well known for running through little fella. So before the game, my old man said to him, if Gonzo's running at you, get your feet off the ground and point your elbow at his nose. So he did.
Good boy.
It was about halfway through the first quarter, Gonzo come off with his nose spread everywhere. And he come back on, and after half time, he come back on with this stuff up his nose.
Roy Olsen, who takes the mark, plays on. He was a bit lucky to get away with that. He sort of was off with him, got the old boxes hanging out underneath there. He was off to play on, and he was pretty lucky to get away with that. Kicks up high, and Craig comes in, and Johnson, and takes a good mark. Strong mark, need him to do it more often, and that's the kick, that type of kick they want in front of goals, into the big fellas who spoil well, but the ball comes out, and comes to Trev May, who's made space, which he does all the time on his own, doesn't waste the footy, and kicks down and finds Lawrence North. He's a very dangerous man, Trevor May. They've nearly got a man up on him in the centre there and not let him run wild, and nearly paid to even put a tagger on him, I reckon, at this stage. And he just seems to be running loose on his own there. As Lawrence North lines up to have a shot from about 40 metres out, and he kicks long and he kicks straight, and she's all clear, and that takes Central Air up to 9-goal-3 to 2-goal-1, which is, I hope we don't get another second semi-final here, Jeff.
No, Greg, it's looking a little bit that way at this stage. They're just playing far better footy. Their movement, their use of the ball is very, very good in Central Air at this stage. Not a real good bounce there by the umpire. Comes in the direction of Gummy, and that see Nails, O'Brien mop up off the back line, half back line, in the direction of Neb Banky and Oster. Carl Oster in front, Frankie Mile. Across to Chico North. Chico in the direction of Gonzo. Gonzo takes a strong mark in opposition to Thomas. Be too far out to score, I think. He's going to give it a ride. It's a wobbly old kick. It's kicked off the ground and through for a point.
Probably in the 80s, I'm probably more talking here, was Ian McKenna, Charlie McKenna, and Blue McKenna.
Ball flanked to Wayne Walker. Wayne Walker moves the ball down to Reaper. Reaper's got a chance to put Broken Hill forward. Plays on. Jamie Dennis has got the ball, moves it on for Broken Hill down to the half-forward line. Randall Pettit's in there, can't pick it up, but it's cleared once again by Peninsula. McKenna battle with a short pass of Wilmington. He holds up play. Now he goes short to Usman.
Tell me about him.
Just all top-line players. Blue McKenna, well, I think he played, well, he was centre for Air Peninsula there in his heyday.
And dominated.
Yeah.
Moves the ball across to Wayne Walker, who's having a roving commission right around the back lines and the forward lines. But number 22 for kicks the ball as eyes as player by himself in the centre of the ground, and that player is Ian Montgomery. Slipped into the space. Good pass from Blue McKenna there to pick him out. 40 metres out from goal. on a very slight angle. As I said before, no wind today, should put this one right through. Looks good from here, she's dead through the centre. A goal to Ian Montgomery.
Well, again, Air Peninsula just too strong. They've edged out to that 36-point break again.
Yeah, he's very strong, very direct player. Penetrating kick. Yeah,
Eyes only for the ball.
Yeah, and strong. Hard to get around. He had big wide shoulders. But
Blake's bouncing off him.
Yeah, good user of the football as well. It didn't matter what standard the football was. He'd play well into league games, and Air Peninsula, he was great player. Ian McKenna, great, very strong player. A lot taller than Blue McKenna, but he'd run through blokes and it just hurt him with his chest. He was that strong, Used to get around all week with no boots on, I think, and very, very tough player, but a very good player too. And I also, Dean McKenna was a very good player as well, always caused a lot of havoc for sides with his run and ability to get the football. So, the McKennas were great players.
Well, you keep mentioning McKennas, but you got McKennas, you got Sampsons, you got Mays, you got Stringers.
Yep.
There's really not that many surnames, but lots of them.
Yeah, Stringers, Mays, McKennas, Matthewses, I remember talking to Barry Sampson one day in Adelaide, because I actually played cricket with Barry Sampson in the Adelaide Hills for a season. I said to him, I've sort of travelled around a little bit, played in quite a few different leagues, and I said to him, I've very rarely seen such talented sportsmen in a small area as around Kyancutta. It was just amazing.
Matthews takes a good mark. Quick handball to McKenna coming across from centre. Short to Carr. Handball on to Ryan Ramsey. He'll try and break through, gets around the broken hill player, goes to the forward pocket looking for Durden.
It didn't matter which farm you went to, they all seemed to be bloody good sportsmen, so it's no wonder why a lot of the other towns around always had to finish well below.
Well, they won 7 in a row there.
Yeah. It's
in your era.
Yep. Amazing amount of good sportsmen in a reasonably small population,
which would have made knocking them off.
Yeah, very hard.
Well, very hard, but all sweeter.
Yeah, and cricket. I know we're getting off football here, but cricket was the same thing. They were very talented at football and very talented at cricket.
This is crucial now. This is crucial football. It's everyone's...
If they get a score on the board, it'll go down to the wire.
And Gonzo! And Bucky will kick a goal!
That'll get him the game, Jody.
That'll do.
That'll get him the game.
It won't matter what it was, a score will help, and I've never seen so many fellas pat someone on the back for kicking a point in my life.
That'll get him the game, Judd.
Anyway.
Bucky McKenna. That's the second time in the quarter he's kicked
Banky and Lawrence
Bucky
North,
Banky,
he'll be
sorry.
paid that mark, and if anyone's a chance to get it right into the team.
She's wet that day.
Well, tell me about that day.
Yeah, it was blowing his ring off from the north.
You can tell.
Yeah, and then the big thunderstorm came in, and then it was just rained all day. It was wet as.
1997, that was at Woodner.
The one at Peednippy.
When
it rained and rained.
Yeah,
and
that's right. Okay.
You can laugh about it now.
Yes. I felt sorry for the football club because I guess I was expecting something more than what I could give, but everything seemed to go wrong. It was raining, we was getting wet gear, and the mic, I had it on a long lead for the commentator, and that sort of played up a bit. So tell that mic's not working. Yeah. Just try it now. No. Just try it now. No. Ah, bastard.
Wasn't even
Don't touch the wire.
Yeah! Yeah, well, I'm not touching the wire. I haven't even been touching the wire.
Leave it in there. It's okay. How's that? Can you hear us now? Can you hear us all right now? Okay,
Don't
right.
touch the wire.
All right. We're not allowed to touch the wire anymore here.
Central Air just scored a goal.
And we don't even know who did it. There's been chaos here in the commentary position, I can tell you.
Unfortunately, it was one of the hardest grand finals that I'd done.
It still turned out magnificently, the footage.
Do you reckon?
Yes, because you were up against it, so, you know.
Testing, that's all right there. 1, 2, yep, that's all right. That's right, just hold it, yeah, just take your hand away from the bottom there. Hold it firmly up there.
Righto, back in the centre bounce here and out it goes. Brock Kenley's got a chance to handball over. Nifty O'Brien a chance, shoots on goal from half forward. I tell you what, that's got the depth too. Another goal to Central Air. And they're pressing on with it here. The boys think it's a bit of a joke down the front here, but they'll have to put up with it.
And that was, she's a pretty tight game all day that day.
Just a bit?
Yeah.
Controversial.
Yeah, it was actually.
Yeah.
I think.
And I think at the time, I don't know, don't quote me, but Centrals would have had at least 7 Mortlock players and possibly...
would have been, yeah, I reckon. Yeah.
Possibly 4, but maybe even 5 EP players in their team.
Kim's selling Ellison a little bit short there because they also had 5 Air Peninsula players. So between them, they had almost half the Air Peninsula team at that time. 2 gun sides. That was in the late 90s, Ellison and Central Air, and Central Air ended up winning, I think, 4 in a row. Didn't quite get to the 5th because Ellison basically bookended that little Central Air run. They won in 95, Central Air won 96, 97, 98, 99, and then Ellison won back in 2000. So yeah, it was 2 dominant clubs of an era with outstanding players, both of them.
Because they're full of Sampsons.
Yeah, Sampsons, Grokies.
Yep.
Trev May, Fox Frisky. Shit, there might have even been 5 EP players in their team, and a couple players that were Trev May and Fuzz Groki, and if John Hastings was playing that game or not, I don't think he did actually. But export Magpies players as well. So they had a...
Bucky McKenna.
No,
That's the second time in the quarter he's kicked...
Not your Benke. And Lawrence
Bucky
North,
Benke,
he'll be
sorry.
paid that mark. And if anyone's a chance to get it right into the teeth of goal, he is. Lawrence will pop that one.
Look at him.
Right up there.
Getting a few instructions from the teammates.
We must just reflect on that touch decision up the other end of the ground. Was it crucial or what?
No, well, exactly. Laurie North. It'd be a great kick if he dobs this one from there. Just goes back.
He's got the height. He has got the
he
length.
kicked the sausage
That's
roll.
a brilliant goal. That's a match-winning goal from Lawrence North.
I think Central Air got it, Johnny.
And the Central Air boys, well, you wouldn't be that happy on your birthday. Look at him going off.
No, that's it.
There's a siren, is it?
Sorry?
Yeah, Lawrence, yeah, he came on right at the end there and took that mark and then kicked that real long goal. And he's probably the only one that had the legs to do it at that stage. Everyone else has been hanging in there all day.
Comes right up from centre half forward to take that mark, which is good movement. It opens the game up. He kicks down long and nails O'Brien. He must take about his 20th mark for the day. Plays on and they kick around the corner and find young North. He plays on, kicks to his cousin, I reckon, who hugs a chest mark in tight, and Oster can't punch the ball away, and he'll have a shot probably 20 metres out on a very tight angle for a right footer. Comes in there, it's a good look, and he's on the right side for a left footer, and he's kicked it. That's a good kick. That is a good goal.
Yeah, the best North, he's not in that family. Like, he's younger brother to George. His name was Robert, but he could have made league easy, but anyhow they got onto him, and he went over with his dad, and his dad was a bit of a I don't know what you call it. used to like to get his own way anyhow. And at the time, they took Robert over there, and Neil Curley was the coach of the. And his old man, Robert's old man, used to try and tell Curley where to go, what to do, and all that sort of thing. And Neil Curley was a fairly hot-headed sort of bloke. So he let old Cyril know what's going on, and then they come back home maybe. And then Robert played for a while, and he was brilliant. He was a build like this fella here. He was about 6'2", and a great athlete. And he had all the skills in the world, and something went wrong between him and the club, and he just pulled out when he was right in his prime. Yeah, never played anymore.
Never played anymore.
Yes.
And he could have gone on 1 mile medal after that. Anyhow, picking the... That's one. One, yeah, right. Thinking about it, I've got to go on statistics and the male medals. Well, we've got one bloke in here. He's gawking at me at the moment. He's won 4 male medals, and he's the bloke I picked as the best player in Kyancutta in my career. Graham Sampson.
He shook his head, Henry. Did you see that? He shook his head.
Shook his head?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he's a lot better footballer than I was, isn't he?
You go for... You've got 2.
Yeah, well, there's another one comes to my mind is he used to play for Western District. Scott, what's his name? Scott Pilders, yeah, Scott Pilders. He's another one that's won about 4 mile medals. So, you know, to pick the best players, you've got to go by the, you know, the statistics and then the amount of medals they played. So they've got to be top players. But there was another old bloke related to this fella here. He was his dad, Max Fitzgerald, but he would have been a real top player, but his knees were, I nearly said Logan, I shouldn't have. His knees had had it and he couldn't carry on.
Really, brother?
His name was Max Fitzgerald, he was the father of this fella here. Right.
Here we go.
Game
Ball gets thrown up. McComb didn't jump at it, but Kelsey have it.
That's
Jesse
right.
Stringer read it the best, sold a handball, has a bounce, handball's back to Zach Fitz. Zach Fitz long into the forward line down to his brother Paddy, and Paddy's taken a pretty good mark, probably 40 metres out.
Really well, actually. Got the hands on the ball, held position.
Distance not an issue for Paddy here. This could go back in the swimming pool again.
And he's kicked it straight anyway.
He's kicked it straight. The boys are all pretty happy with it.
But I think looking back at the footy club, I was fortunate enough. We played in a really good era, and we were lucky enough. We won quite a few premierships, and I was only thinking the other day. I was very fortunate enough. I reckon I played in, I don't know that it was 12 or 13 winning premierships. So that was a really good era, and I think that's something we always look back on, the guys who played in that era. I had good recollection when I was a kid. There was my father and blokes like Henry and Mick and Crockett and Max Fitz, my Uncle Max, and a bloke called Rooker Mullen. They used to come down shearing down at Dad's place, down at Pine Grange there, and after shearing they'd get talking about old times, and there was always one story that stuck in my mind, and I think it's okay to tell.
Sure, it'll be fine.
Uncle Max Fitz, I think I was telling a couple of blokes about this the other day. and Kyancutta was playing lock. And Fitzy was playing full forward, and there was a bloke called Phil Holman, Dud's brother, was playing full back. And Fitzy was having a bit of trouble with Tom, because Tom would be out in front marking over his head all day, and I always remember Fitzy come in at half time, and Dad went up to him and said, "What the hell are you doing?" Anyway, he said, "Don't worry about it, Bendy, I've got him worked out." So anyway, after half time they went out. Sure enough, Tom's out in front, takes a mark above his head. Anyway, nothing happened for a while. So it come down again. And Fitzy thought, well, I better try this tactic. So as Tom went up for a mark, Fitzy come behind and used the proverbial and stuck it where you shouldn't.
He pulled his hands down?
And Tom pulled his hands down very quickly. And I think you could understand why. So Fitzy never ever had a problem with Tom Holman again. Phil Holman. Yeah,
it's a great side. The names, you know, Max Fitzgerald was really good, and they've come through right to the present day. I believe Gary was one of the great players as well, but his knees give him all that trouble. But
ironic. Well, unfortunately, in the EP game.
Yes, yeah. Did it in an EP game, yeah. And he was on the bench most of the day and just got a run at the end, and it happened. You know, it was terrible. But so it happens.
And it looks around, not really sure where he wants to go. He's gone short. Short to Jake Sampson. Jake Sampson out on the wing there, or no, not quite the wing. Wing now. Howard's kicked it straight
Sugar Montgomery
to the opposition. However, Jared Sampson's got the footy back again. This is where we started a second ago. He's looked up. He's found Keenan Bury. Keenan Bury looks down the field.
Great little player.
Great player, tough, tenacious, you can't. Righto, here we go. We've got Paddy Fitzgerald. Paddy, round onto the left. Sees his Jesse Stringer. Jesse Stringer, not good enough to take the grab, punched out of his hands. Through to Whitford. Whitford on the left.
Nice kick. Oh.
Or in the back umpire.
The umpires have been calling a lot today.
They have.
And they're going to call something like that. Oh, look, Mont's come up a little bit of a limp there.
Which one's that? Is that Dale?
No, that's Dylan.
That's Dylan? Yeah.
Great thing about the Mont boys, you look like they're gone, but I'll tell you what, they come back and they just play harder and stronger.
Dylan Mont kick forward straight to Lockie Heath. Lockie Heath, I thought, was a bloke to give the free away. There you go. Got back in defence, got the footy now, looking forward. Not a lot of movement for him. However, he spotted an option.
Yep.
Out to Jackson Joyce, right in front of the goal, taken down.
The ball there.
Anyway, free played on to a handball to Kane Sampson. Probably he would have liked it better than that, Kano. Kano's therefore he's gone down the wing, in front of Chapman, Corey Cabot.
No, that's Dylan Cabot there.
It's Dylan Cabot too.
Yep. Up and
Tyler
down.
Chapman a fair behind him. Got his kick out.
Stringer's in there.
Picked it up. Looks up. Assesses his options.
Finds he's got time.
Out in front of young Jake Bruce. Seems to have a bit of time. Looks across.
Looks for his coach.
There he is. Finds Nails O'Brien.
Oh.
Nails looks inbound and Paddy Fitzgerald. Yeah, it all started in the full back line here. They switched it, across the play, and run it down this side.
They certainly have the link-up player.
Yeah.
I've been hot on that all day.
So, what, 35 metres out here. Righto, Central Air boys are pretty happy with that one. Straight through the middle.
Look, great start for the doggies. They're not worried about burying their teeth anymore. They're actually trying to gnaw into the frigging carcass right now.
What was that game that you're talking about?
With Fitzy, yeah, we're playing down the Mortlock there, and that was the year he made DP side as a ruckman, and he's playing against, you know, the Feegit boys and that big Kim Heinrich. You know, they're all about 4 inches tall, and he's jumping over the top of them all day, and he played an absolute ripper, and that probably what got him in the EP side, and then he done his knee in that EP game. It's pretty disappointing because he looked like he's going to be a pretty freaky footballer. He could do anything. Yeah, it's a bit sad.
Shit happens.
Oh, shit happens.
But you played in how many premierships, Kyancutta?
I was in 7.
All 7?
I was, you know, because I wasn't sure whether I had started in the first one of the 7. But mucking around with memorabilia that was there on the first team in the 7 in a row, and my ugly face was in the photo, so...
It was.
Jesse Stringer. Well, he just got his kick away before he got caught. And he found Paddy at centre forward. Paddy Fitz. This would be, what, 45 out, eh?
Yeah, it'd be a decent kick. Not much breeze, but it is uphill up
Yeah.
there, so it's a bit deceiving when you're kicking. Doing a good roast.
He's got it. Was a good kick.
How many of these lads who played yesterday would you have played footy with their father or grandfather? Or the grandfather, probably?
The Fitzgeralds were one I played with their dad, Max. And
Apparently he could really play.
Hey?
Apparently he could really play.
Max Fitz, he's pretty good, yeah. He had knee trouble, was his biggest bother. Yeah, and them days we had no cure for it, or nobody knew anything much about first aid. Yeah, Max, I can remember him, he was a terrific long kick. Yeah, they used to play him full forward or half forward, and I remember on the old Swamp Oval, he'd be halfway up the oval, he used to about get it nearly into the goals, or sometimes big long punt kick. Yeah, Fitzy, probably not. Well, of course they've got Ty McKenna there. There he is. Yep. He's my grandson. Ty McKenna, yeah.
Yeah, of course he can play a bit.
Yeah, he's pretty handy, all right.
Yeah, the score. Start the second half is 6-6 to the Hawks to 4-9 to the Central Air Boys. So 9 points in it. Matty's gone up for the ruck. Ball's come down.
Spilled out.
Spilled out.
Damien Johnson's come through with the soccer, and it's all bottled up again. The umpire says, let's have a look.
This is where Ty kicks his 6 goals, I reckon.
9 points, half time. Game could go anyway, really. I reckon conditions are probably, if anything, getting better. The breeze has dropped out a little bit.
It's like pretty much even both ends.
Jake Bruce attacked it well. Good second effort. Out to Matty Sampson. He's booted it long. And Ty McKenna.
Ty McKenna, this will be his 3rd kick for the game?
I reckon it would be his 3rd kick for the game. I think if Central Air's going to do any good today, I think Ty's going to have to stand up and, at least kick this goal and get a bit of momentum going. Big fella, he could do anything. He got a bit of a sore groin, but he plays on a bit of confidence as well. If he can get this, it'll be a very good start to the Central Air Boys. He's kicked it, he looks happy with it, and all the boys are coming in. Very exciting.
It's probably the lift the Central Air Boys needed. It gets the game back within 3 points now, so that's it's going to be an open start of the second half. So pretty much we're right back at the start of the game again.
I think you're right.
They call that 2015 one the Ty McKenna Grand Final.
Yes.
Oh, yes, I remember that, yeah.
You were there for that?
Yeah.
Yep. That was a ripper.
That was we were about 6 goals down in the 3/4 time.
Hello, what's happened there? Umpire's thrown it out to Matty Sampson. He's thrown on the boot, put it out in front of Nails. Good defensive work from Freeman. Jake Sampson's picked it up.
Dale Montgomery gets dodged around.
Put it out in front of...
Oh, good spoil by Dylan Montgomery.
Ty McKenna.
Ty McKenna.
He's had a shot at goal.
For the game and kicks a goal.
Yeah. It might be the Ty McKenna show, hopefully.
Ty cut loose and kicked 6 goals the 3rd quarter and won the last, I think. 1 goal in the last one, yeah. And we finished up winning.
Well, finished up. In fact, you were behind halfway through the 3rd quarter and finished up winning by 75 points, I think.
Yeah, I forget the margin though. We had a reasonable win.
Yeah, it was pretty big in the end, actually.
Good
spoil too.
How do you get rid of that umpire? He's come out in the attack, and the umpire said down the field.
No, he's paid play on.
He has paid play on. Jakey Bruce has picked the footy up, down to Ty McKenna. And Ty's taking the mark probably, I don't know, 15 metres just off centre.
Now that's really strange, that call just then, because last week the umpires weren't calling advantage at all.
Correct.
During the game, and now all of a sudden they've rocked up in the ground here and the advantage is being played.
Yeah, I think everyone sort of stopped then. Brucey sort of picked the footy up and run with it. Umpires called it play on, tricked everyone. And yeah, once again on this small oval, get the footy down there. Ty's taking the grab, and
it's a goal.
And a goal for the Central Air boys.
So now it's a 2-goal ball game. Central Air up by 12 points for the first time in the game, and they're actually playing really good footy. They seem to be able to move the ball, and they're not making silly mistakes. The Hawks boys seem to be busting under pressure, and they're not using the ball as good as they should be.
Yeah, no, she's pretty hot football out there. And yeah, it's sort of, Niall's obviously got the boys fired up after half time, and yeah, that's come out to play.
He's nearly going to get dragged at half time, I think.
Yeah.
Sorry?
The story goes he's nearly going to get dragged at half time.
I wouldn't be surprised on 3 touches.
Yeah. And then come out and kick 6 in the quarter.
So he got a talking to?
Well, I'm not sure. I think he might have.
Yeah, yeah.
No one's won that. Down to square. Brett McComb's got it on his boot, out in front of Ty McKenna. Ty McKenna's, he's picked it up and he's kicked the goal.
So that's 5 for the game he's kicked out?
I reckon that's 5 he's got now, all since half time.
Trav Brown, we have to start in a question how.
So it was the Ty McKenna show, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a pity he doesn't do it more often, you know. He doesn't do it often enough. That's his trouble. He's got all the skill in the world, but he's annoying sometimes. Frustrating.
Yeah. Bit too long with the kick. Off Kane Sampson's knee. He's ducked in there, he's got it. And he's done well to get a kick with one hand.
Very well.
Here we go.
Oh, Tubbers. Oh,
squash between a couple of them.
The crowd's definitely getting into the game, and we've got a great crowd here for grand final day. Absolutely fantastic.
Out in front of Dylan Mont, takes a mark, he plays on, he's tackled, got his kick away, and a great mark by Ty McKenna.
That was a high contact.
That was a bit of high contact.
Frogger comes in.
Got his kick out to Keenan Bury.
Yeah, you know, like, he's one bloke that sort of, you know, can dominate a game, but he doesn't do it often enough.
I reckon he's terrific in defence. Like in that.
Yeah, centre half back. Yeah, he plays good footy there, but he does let his man go a bit. You know, like he relies on reading the play more.
Yeah, for sure. Yep. But he certainly gets a lot of the footy.
Oh, and he sets up a lot back there.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, if you could.
So unfortunately, you've had to ruck him because there's no one else to ruck. The last couple of
a good safe pair of hands.
Oh yeah.
Up forward, so.
Big T-Mac again. Got the tap straight out to Zach Fitz.
Clean.
He's got some space. Has a bounce and buggers it. And he gets a free, held on to. Macca Heath. Taylor Schmucker's got hold of him.
Yeah, let him get away anyway.
But there's still a fair few familiar surnames out there with.
Yeah.
And what did you think of the merger?
The what?
When they formed Central Air.
Oh, with Warrnambool.
Yeah.
Amalgamate, yeah, that was one of the best moves probably ever we've made, you know, because our side was fading away due to lack of numbers. And yeah, and it looked like all the other teams were fading out too. And there was, you know, like Yanani and Poitry and Waterkey, and their clubs all closed up, and it looked getting to the stage where our blokes were still hanging in there, but some said, oh, they could have gone for another year. Well, that wouldn't have been much good because Warrnambool were battling, so were we. No, it was one of the greatest moves they've made for, yeah, and the best part about it was when we were playing against Warrnambool, you know, we're always wanting to win, I suppose you call it, and they were our enemies while the game was on, but after that, but as soon as we moved to Warrnambool, we were all mates again, you know. Yeah, it turned out real good. Yeah.
on to the last 2 minutes, takes a mark, made sure it was on the angle that everyone in the club could see it, and he did a Malcolm Marshall. Anyhow, getting back to tonight, I call on another legend of our club, Bucky Beaky.
Oh, a noisy mob there, wasn't it?
Well, it's a full house and it's a joyous house.
Yeah.
His first words to me, he said, "This is bullshit." But Bucky, Henry McKenna and Madigan never wore the doggy Guernsey. You, the doggy Guernsey, you wore both. Who would you sooner be, a doggy or a tiger? Well, there's no tigers around nowadays, so I have to be a doggy.
Yeah, that was a bloody good amalgamation, that one.
Tell me about it.
Oh, well, just it's the same, virtually the same thing. You know, like, that was when they was putting the series system in at Woodner, and Warren Boo had a few players from that, and we did too. And when that finished, both sides just battled.
Just suddenly felt pinched at the same time.
Yeah, and so something had to be done.
Mm.
And yeah, that was unreal. You know, we're all pretty good mates anyway off the field. You know, we used to play pretty hard against each other.
Well, you played, what, 100 or so games or more with Kyancutta first?
Yeah, I think so. I wouldn't have a clue, to be honest with you.
Well, 100 or so, maybe 200, and then so you're certainly well versed in the Kyancutta.
Yeah, I think.
Team?
Yeah, 74 to whenever they amalgamated.
Yeah, and how long did you play for the Bulldogs?
To 2000, I was 42 when I played my last game.
So runs straight at the ball, turns on his right. It's a high kick down the centre half forward area. Only to see it marked there by Gray Perry. Perry goes back on the left in the direction of Danga Kill. She's got front position, can't hold it. All spoiled away there, knocked away there. Keneally moves through there, handball off in the direction of Bucky Binky. Bucky Binky runs straight at the ball, picks it up on the left, and it's a top kick. It's a nice kick. It's a goal to Central Air at the first one. A very handy one for him, Greg.
Yeah, it was, Jeff. It was a good running goal. That put the ball out in front and run on it. That's what the name of the game's about, and that's what they've been getting their goals doing. To Worrell now, they've got to get the ball out of centre. We got Gonzo never going to contest the ruck again.
Yep. And how many premierships had you played in at that point?
With Cayenne, or, well, I don't know. I mean, I think I played in 14 or 15 all up.
Short to Titch. Kelly gives it back, and a good shepherd by Kelly.
Boundary umpire calls.
Oh, everything is dramatic here at the minute, and that's out of bounds. Humby did well, and Kelly, brilliant teamwork there. The ball goes to ground. And
Jungles.
Yeah, positioned himself well.
He's class.
He's
right,
brilliant, brilliant wet weather footballer, brilliant dry weather footballer. Out it goes.
Nose, May, good smother. Rams working hard in the clinches.
Hastings
good tackle by Humby. Lemay.
What's going on?
Sick of
Free
knocking
kick here. Trev May's picked it. I think Humby's the indiscreet person there. And
back to Trev May. Trev May goes back, kicks long.
Oh, he's loose. Frisky.
Oh, is anyone picking up Fox at the moment?
Poor old Sean Humby ran forward to follow up the play, and that's it, isn't it?
It's not a kick.
This is crucial now.
This is
Chance
crucial
for Central
football.
Air. It's everyone's...
If they get a score on the board, it'll go down to the wire.
Gonzo!
Gonzo!
And Bucky will kick a goal!
I think that'll get him the game, Juddy.
That'll do.
That'll get him the game.
It won't matter what it was. A score will help, and I've never seen so many fellas pat someone on the back for kicking a point in my life.
That'll get him the game, Judd.
I don't know. Around the mark.
Yeah, it's just success was expected around Kyancutta, wasn't it?
Oh.
And then when it became Central Air.
In that 87, when we amalgamated in 1987, Warrnambool and Kyancutta cleared 36 players in the off-season, and that really forced the amalgamation. But
oh, we had those guys working on the waterworks or the sewage.
That's right, yeah, LRM boys, and a few. There was a downturn in farming, and a few of the lads were going away for work. And,
so the two things, and all that drought and stuff.
Yes, all that and sort of.
But the sewage boys leaving, so it sort of made it, as you say, happen.
Yeah, it did, and it was all good. It all went off pretty smoothly.
Well, yeah, and as it turns out, yeah, well, you were related to a lot of them.
Yeah, it's probably a few there, I suppose, yeah.
There's obviously Sampson's over there and whatnot.
Yeah. Oop, down he goes.
Following football, I haven't seen amalgamation work very well, but I always thought this Warrnambool Kyancutta, as far as the football goes, they really worked. But they were keen blokes. You know, you had the Sampsons at Warrnambool and the Sampsons at Kyancutta, and because of that little, you could call it hatred if you like, but for them, that's what made them still a good club. Yeah, very good.
The Hawks has got the mark anyway, and that probably should be 50 because it was his footy all along. Whitford.
To James Wesley, Big Juma.
Here we go, Doling's option here, and a good mark taken by Zach Fitzgerald. Zach Fitzgerald back off his mark. Probably chilled a bit of the clock up here. He's not that real interesting. There you go. Seen someone. His brother Paddy.
Whitters gets the ball again. Hand passes out to Derek Freeman, who's natural left legger.
Yep.
He'll run it out.
Got a few options up on the wing. Whoop, handball now. Kirkmont across to young Cabo, was it?
Shuey finds some space from Doling, who's got time. Tyson Mont, easy uncontested grab. Out to Braden Holmes. Good spoil, good spoil.
From young Jacko Joyce there. He's played a pretty good game defensively today. Hadn't a lot of kicks, but punched it well. Back to Squirt, win with a handball. Squirt goes down the line, and a good mark taken by young Reggie Noddle. Reggie looks up. He's got Hayden Heath. Hayden Heath turns around. Now he's got Jake Bruce. Jake Bruce looks around. What options has he got? Spotted something down the line.
Yeah, well bodied out.
Yeah, Paddy Fitz. Handballs across to Hayden Heath.
Did his best.
Hayden Heath out in front of Tom McKenna. Tom McKenna takes the mark probably 30, 35 metres out deep in the left-hand forward pocket.
He's his run-up to the fairway, Fridge.
Yeah, confidence player. Well, could be the best footballer on our peninsula if he wanted to be, that's my opinion. Had a shot.
And the umpire didn't move.
Umpire hadn't moved. There you go.
Another one.
You know, that's how good he can be.
What was the closest grand final that you ever played in?
Oh my goodness. I don't know whether it was the closest, but we played. Locke came into our association here years ago. They used to play down the other way, Commons Way, and they come in there, and they were a pretty strong team. And I can remember one day we played them in the grand final, and I think we kicked. We had a bit of a windy day, and if I remember rightly, I think we kicked 6 goals something in the first quarter. They might have scored a couple of points. And from there on, we only kicked about another 4 or 5 points. We finished up winning the game. Yeah, marvellous. Yeah, they are.
Just one more story I got. Where are you going?
Mind your own business.
I was going to tell a story about you. Actually, I was. That's no lie. But I can remember a bloody long time ago, I was pretty little and I was playing Colts football on the old swamp over there amongst the mud. And on this day we were playing lock, and Henry just walked past here, and he was the umpire. Anyhow, I don't know what the scores were or what, but I can remember this bloke, lock supporter, he got out of the car and he was giving Henry a bit of a bloody hard time, giving him a fair bit of advice. And yeah, so as they need sometimes, don't they, Dero? But anyhow, Henry got jack of it. So he blew the bloody whistle, held his hands up there in the air, and he walked over to the car and he said, "Here, mate, here's the bloody whistle, my shirt. Come out and have a go." Well, this bloke just jumped in his car, never heard from him again all day. So
I'll tell a couple of stories. I asked Harry Ulster today whether I could tell a story about him, and he said, "Yep, no worries, Buck." We were playing at Wirral this day, and Scrubber O'Brien was umpiring, and Troy took this mark right in the end of the goal square. And he bloody kicked it, and it went through for a point. And Harry signalled a goal. And Scrubber come up and he said, "Harry, I think that was a point." Harry said, "It should have been a fucking goal." And he signalled a goal, that was it. She's all over. When I started, we all had, all us fellas, Fitzy, Dryballs, Charlie, there's about the Richter boys, there's about 9 or 10 of us. We were very, very lucky to come into a side that you had your Madigans and Joes and Pizzles and all them boys. We were pretty lucky to come into a side. I'd hate to say, you know, we were privileged. They were our idols, you know. We really looked up to them. And
I guess one thing about the Cayenne Central Air, different from some of the other towns, is that you'd probably say that 95% of them were farmers and born and bred in the area. So I think they probably gel just a little bit better than the other sides.
And the continuity.
Yeah, if you take Wooden, for example, like we obviously welcomed in players from anywhere, but we'd get people from different backgrounds.
Service centre.
Yeah, and I guess some of the, different jobs around the town. So you got people with different backgrounds, you know, you had teachers come from different places, stock agents and so forth. And whereas I guess some of those farming communities, you know, they just really, really gel together. They're all sort of brought up with the same sort of environment. And I think that probably has a little bit of advantage.
For sure.
And I think, yeah, they seem to really, really bond really well together as a club.
What did most of the blokes do? They were mostly farmers? Or?
Yeah, all working on the farms,
How many would be farmers and how many would be share farmers or farm workers?
Oh, well, they're all farmers. He was a working man sort of thing. He was a farmer. He was outsider. He come from Adelaide, I think, the North. Yeah, Fitzy's the North. And he was a builder, Crosby. Benny Sampson, yeah, Bob Bedford. He used to just work in his brother's garage, Bill Bedford, the bloke that used to fly the plane. Yeah.
So the Bedfords flew the plane as well?
Yeah, well, Bill Bedford did. That was Bob's eldest brother. Yeah, he used to fly his patients out in his old plane. That was nothing like an ambulance plane or anything like that. Anything emergency, he'd fly them out to Adelaide or wherever they used to have to go.
But a significant advance over going by road.
Oh yeah, it was. She was a full-day trip years ago. Actually, it was a 2-day trip. When I remember the old timers telling me when the road used to go through way out Waterkey Way and then back to Kimbra, and it was only a bush track, and it used to take them nearly 2 days to get to Adelaide in their old buses.
Now, you coached Kyancutta, and after Madigan coached, and we were pretty successful. I think Madigan won 5, and then you come in for the next couple, and you had all these Dry, Bucky, Charlie, Blue, all these young fellas coming through, didn't you? And they would have been a privilege to coach, I'd imagine.
Well, they were. And thanks for the warning, Jack. I mean, it's great to get up here without the warning, but yeah, look, they really were. I think from memory I took over Madigan, I reckon, coach, and I reckon I was the next one after that, so a pretty big bloody job to do, but I coached for 4 years, and only won one of those. I think he was runner-up for another couple.
No, you won 2.
Oh, we won 2 apparently, but I know we lost. I know we certainly lost one. I reckon it was back in '81, and Jack and I was only talking about this a while ago. If it wasn't for the bloody umpire that come from Streaky Bay, his name was Adrian Kraft. I reckon we might have we might have won another one. But I can distinctly remember that we lost Clive. Clive was having a boom of a match, and he was playing centre half forward, and he got injured and went off. I never saw him for the rest of the game. But when that happened, yeah, we struggled. We just got done. But yeah, they were good years, and we had a lot of good players as well. And I suppose I can go back to remember playing my first A grade game at 15 on the old oval over there, and it was just like Joe just said it was. It was water down the other end, and bloody saffron thistles up this end. And yeah, those older blokes really taught us young fellas how to play footy and looked after us, and yeah, they were really good years. And I look at Kyancutta Club as on an equal part of, say, Ramblers down the bottom end. We're just a really strong community, and everybody really dug in, and yeah, it was we really had some good players back then. We still have today too, so yeah, it was good.
You did a little stint in Adelaide too, didn't you?
Yeah, but I was longing to get back here, so I stayed out there for a year or two and come back. But I remember I had some wrist issues, broke both go forward bones at a match against Woodland, and bloody Tony Robbie got me and went down and done that in. But after a year or two, I give it away and decided to go umpiring for a year, and then I think I can remember we were holidaying down at Port Elliot, I reckon, and Gus rang up and asked me to be coach. So I coached for a year and didn't play, and then I couldn't put up with that any longer, so I went back and found these wristbands and played for a few more years after that. But yeah, got no regrets whatsoever. So yeah, that's about as much as I can add to it, Jack.
All right. Thank you, mate. Very good.
But then there's all 8 or 9 of us guys, and then a couple of years later we had Trom and Woodney and Blue and Gonzo and all them boys come through too. And that side sort of took us through right through to we amalgamated with Warrnambool, and that was a good. I think that was a good move. That was probably one of the best premierships I've won. Was '88 when we sitting in the club rooms afterwards and sitting and all the smiling faces, and it was unreal just sitting there in the old club room. She was absolutely packed, eh? I remember the next day we were down at Warrnambool and Jimmy Sams had come up and Madigan, I don't think they'd been to bed. And Jimmy said, hell, if I knew winning premierships was this good, I would have won one years ago. True story, eh, Madigan? No, it's good life. Anyway.
So when it was the old days of Warrnambool and Kyancutta, was they the big rivals, or was it Woodner?
It's funny because a lot of our best mates were our opposition. They wouldn't have, like, after we played them, and you know, we beat them. We were backyard bullies really in some ways to them, and you know, we had the quality players and had the better side, and you know, legends and that sort of stuff. And we'd mix in, get on, and you know, go to Cabros and Sunday boozing together and all that sort of stuff. But Warrnambool was different. That you know, we were virtually, we hated each other on the field and even off the field. and that was just through generations before stuff. It wasn't just our era that was a problem. But I've always said that if Kyancutta and Warrnambool can amalgamate, anyone can. And the amalgamation has been great.
Picked up on the central air, boys. Doling,
and he's called holding the ball.
Doling suggesting the umpire was holding the ball, and it's got that to happen.
Renshaw across to Doling. Doling kicks it forward. Mark taken by Jared.
So Warrnambool lad.
Jared. Yeah, he's Jared. Jared's Butcher's lad, Craig's lad. Yep.
Tell me who else gets a kick here and where they're from.
Yep.
Jared kicks to the outer wing. Down the bottom, Keenan Bury gets a handball.
Matty Sampson.
Matty Sampson would have been Warrnambool. He's Craig's lad too.
Yep. Another Warrnambool lad.
Yep.
Jake.
Footy's at the centre half forward for the centre. Ty McKenna used the body well.
Kyancutta lad.
Yep. Another Kyancutta nails. O'Brien. I know who Squirt would have been, probably Kyancutta, I'd say.
His dad was, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, he was too, Peter.
Nails puts his body in there. Handball. Across to Squirt winner.
And the Kyancutta lad kicks the goal.
Yeah.
As
snapped the goal.
Yeah, snapped the first goal for the day.
Good shepherd by Nails there.
Very good use of the body.
Gave him that bit of time. He better get into it.
The conditions you probably couldn't ask for better conditions for football today. Bit of cloud cover. I don't know, early mid-20s, no real breeze to speak of. Just what we're looking for a grand final.
How many was that today, Craig?
Huh?
How many premierships in a row was that?
3 for this round.
So how many premierships for the Central Air Bulldogs?
9.
9. And how many blokes today played from Warrnambool? How many from Kyancutta?
So about half and half nearly.
Macaheath on the left out to Jake Bruce. Jake Bruce on his left to Jake Sampson. Jake Sampson handballs across to Hayden Heath.
Uncontested mark.
Hayden Heath with a kick. And a very, very good mark taken by Jared Sampson in front of
Kyle Renshaw.
It is Kyle, is it? His Christian name. What would he be? 40 metres the mark out, or 42 or 3 metres?
Yeah, I suppose. He should be kicking from just inside 50, shouldn't he?
Just inside the 50.
That's playing tall. That little leap, that's playing tall.
Hands out in front, you can't spoil. Jared's a really good footballer too.
Who's that?
Jared Sampson's a very heady footballer, and sometimes becomes really embroiled in the game, and he expects everybody to do everything, you know.
Like he can.
Like he can, yes. And as he's getting older now, he's been able to fit in and play in defence a little bit, and he really lifts the team. He holds the team together, directs traffic. And yeah, let's hope his knee's good enough to go on for a while yet, because we're going to miss him if he doesn't. Yeah.
He certainly played a lot of good footy. I mean, he best on ground in 2015.
Yes, and before he come back here, obviously played really high standard of footy and learned a lot while he was away. And thank goodness he's back at Central Air and giving us the benefit. So.
Well, he's an elder statesman before his years, really.
Yes, that's right.
Puts it exactly where Doling wanted it.
Handball.
Gets the hand pass out.
Out the space. Jake Sampson.
Hang
across
on.
to Macaheath.
Hey,
across to Reggie Noddle.
Jared Mott closing fast.
Closing real fast.
That was closing very fast.
Oh! Jared Sampson with the mark of the day. Deep in the fourth quarter. Season option in Jake Sampson. Looks across. He's got Ty McKenna leading at him, and Ty takes it out in front
The Sampsons can play big, can't they?
Yeah, they were good, yeah.
Well, still good.
yeah, they're pretty handy, right? Yeah.
There was Sampson.
Ball's bounced out the back.
Oh, Derek Clark there.
Big Kane Sampson's red at the best. Across to Martin Grokey. Martin Grokey looks forward. He's got Hayden Heath. Not too strong for him.
Could have been a push in the back there.
However, we've got Ty McKenna going hard at.
All right, Derek Kelf's in there.
Yeah, 2 of them. Just tell us for the commentators.
Kane Sampson. Kane's been a brilliant footballer.
Who's that?
Kane's been a brilliant footballer. Kane's you know, he started on a wing, and you know, not bad, 6'2" bloke on the wing, and then went to centre half forward, and it's like as you know, centre half forward probably the hardest spot on the ground to play, and he played that for years, you know, and done a bloody good job there.
One of the best, apparently.
Yeah, exactly. He'd be up there, one of the best players that's played for Central Air, I reckon.
Yeah, listen, boy, there's Kane Sampson again. He's in the touch again. Clears it up to the centre half forward. Yeah, that's out of bounds, and that's a boundary throw in.
Kane Sampson's definitely had an influence on the game, and a good start again to the quarter with a nice kick into the pocket there.
Played a lot of rep footy.
Yeah, and a lot of rep footy. No, and then he went to full back and dominated there too. So.
Didn't he just dominate that 2015 game?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Jared Sampson, fair enough, best on ground, but for mine, Kano, and he was playing on Bascombe that day.
Yeah.
Who got like 1 goal for the game, and that was just about his only kick.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Kano ran off him and must have, for a full back picking up, he must have picked up probably 13, 14 kicks for the day.
Jake Sampson handballs out to Connor Dowden. Connor Dowden down the wing.
Kicks to space.
And he's put it out in front of Hayden Heath. Hayden picks it up, looks inside with the hands to Jake. Jake didn't really need it, he had pressure on him. West Coast Hawks have turned the footy over. They've got it now, kicking down the wing.
High ball, very high ball. Brent Bascombe still produces nothing.
But Kane Sampson got his measure at this stage.
And of course, he played Port Adelaide. Brent Bascombe is not playing. Sampson's playing on a buffhead.
No, that's right.
Kicks it out towards the wing, bounces awkwardly over Jesse Stringer. And that was that Kirkmont with a kick?
No, Nick Sherman.
Nick Sherman.
Nick Sherman. And now there's 3 Central Air guys out on the closest wing.
And Kane Sampson solid in defence. Kicks to Jared Sampson. Jared looks down the wing to Hayden Heath. They'll fly here.
And he's class, and he's got a good footy brain too. Yeah.
And the kicks that he got were so damaging. Like he'd play on, and he was goals at the end of them.
Yeah.
Forward, Nick Sherman. Kicks it forward.
Very good mark too.
To Cam Montgomery, I'd reckon. And he kicks it centre and outmarked by...
I reckon that's No, that's Jared Sampson again, isn't it? Out to Lockie Heath. Yep, Jared out to Lockie. And then Lockie down to Kano. Kano's at centre wing.
Working his way up the ground.
Centre wing.
He's going for goal. Touched off the mark.
Touched off the mark. Biggest sin in football, kicking in the man of the mark. Joey O'Brien, handball back out to Kane Sampson. Kane on the boot. Brett McComb can't grab it. And there's the siren.
And there you go.
So Jake Sampson here, he's another Sampson from Warrnambool. He's a good footballer. You know, he's really good.
Who's that, sorry?
Jake Sampson. He just runs all day and a beautiful kick.
So damaging.
Yeah, he is.
With his possessions.
Yeah. And you know, he's 1 minute he's in the back lines, next minute he's down the forward lines. You know, he plays both ends of the ground too.
He was huge in all that 3 in a row, 15, 16, 17.
Yep. Him and Jesse make a pretty damaging pair in the middle there.
And he's got Jake Sampson in the square, takes a mark, and kicks another goal.
Play straight on.
The Sampsons originally went to Kyancutta in 1917.
Is that right?
Yeah, because they are the 100 years since they've come to Kyancutta.
Yeah.
But they were halfway between Warrnambool and Kyancutta, but then the next generation went to Warrnambool.
Why was that?
Oh, just where the land was.
Oh, okay.
Who kicked in?
So they've kicked it out.
Jared Sampson.
Jared Sampson taking a very great grab.
Because that's one of the interesting things, of course, Sampson's at Kyancutta, Sampson's at Warrnambool.
Oh, yeah, well, what happened in the early days, the eldest, Graham and them's grandpa, he was the first one to settle at Kyancutta. And then Teddy Sampson's and all the others, Roy Sampson, all their dads came and settled at Warrnambool. And that's why there was good footballers in both, but all the Kyancutta Sampsons could play football. And Trevor Adams was another good footballer, and his grandma and Graham and Barry Sampson's grandma, they were all good footballers, and that must have came from the mums because they were Cornish.
Kyancutta Footy Club was 100 years in 1918, and Warrnambool started in 1929. But originally the Warrnambool boys played with Kyancutta.
Who's the Sampsons who are still at Kyancutta? Whether they're actual Sampsons anymore or not?
Yeah, I don't know. Don't think there's too many there. So Madigan, there's only Madigans and Joes and.
So all the current Sampsons are Warrnambool?
Yeah, the majority of them would be. I think they all are. Yeah. Yep.
I started with Warramboo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I played 100 games with Warramboo before I went to Central Air, so.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so that was good, so.
Yeah. Because Central Air started, what, 1988?
87.
Oh, 87?
Yeah.
Because that was an interesting time when all the mergers happened, wasn't it?
Yeah, we're the start of the mergers in Midwest League.
Do you remember a bit about that?
Oh, a little bit, not a lot. Yeah.
You were involved at the time, though, obviously. But it was organised by other people,
or? Yeah. There's a couple of other blokes probably had more to do with it than I would have.
What was your opinion?
Well, yeah, Warramboo and Kyancutta clubs never liked each other. That's the funny part that I see.
And it was a fierce disaffection too.
Yeah, it was. But we had to get together, otherwise things would have fell right apart. Yeah, nowadays it's not much worries at all, I think.
Yeah, because you played that, you know, that derby game like your whole career.
Yeah, it was Kyancutta. Yeah. Yep.
And of course, Kyancutta, in fact, I think won the premiership the last year before amalgamating or something, did it? So you're both pretty strong.
Oh, Kyancutta were very good.
Very, very good.
Yeah. They won a lot of premierships.
Yeah. In fact, you won how many in a row?
7. Yeah.
I believe it was Fridge's father's suggestion.
Yeah, he was the secretary of the Warramboo, the Kyancutta clubs got together and did the merger, so it was good. So.
Yeah, it was an unpopular suggestion.
It's the old school didn't like it, but all us young guys went to school together at Woodner.
Yeah, right.
So that's what it's all about.
So you said it had to be.
Yeah, and well, it's the future.
Yeah.
And now with the cricket, from now on, they're the yellow caps in cricket and we're the blue caps.
Yeah, right. So you're going to kill each other all summer? Yeah. All right, look forward to that. Thanks very much, man. Fantastic.
No worries.
Got a Central Air bloke. Lindsay said you can't do that to him. Brett McComb, the ruckman, he's come up with a free there somehow, off the ball. Brett McComb on the left to half forward. They fly high. Here comes Clint Winter on his left, natural left. He's kicked it, and there's another goal.
Yeah. There's the 3 in reply anyway.
There's
the 3 in reply.
Undisciplined play.
Yep.
In the centre of the ground. Couple of kicks, and all of a sudden it's another goal.
Tell me about
Squirt. He's not that big, but he seems to be able to get up and take a mark. And we really miss him today when he's not playing. We lack something through the centre and around the goals.
Not sure. 50. Zach Fitzgerald with the ball in his hands. You know,
fairly
not
costly.
Quite at half back.
Fairly costly, giving away 50
back
in
out
the
to
grand
Harry.
final.
Harry's got an option down the wing, and Macca doesn't use him. Looks forward, goes back across to Zach Fitz where he got the footy from. Boys switch it to the outer side to Paddy Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
Paddy runs around on his
Scotty
left.
Mott's going to have his work cut out for him there.
Out in front of Jordan Stootley. Can't really pick it up. Well defended by the Hawks. Oh, hang on.
All right.
They said that it was too high on the Central Air man. Yeah. So Jordan Stootley, probably 50 metres out on the boundary, looks up. Got an option in Clint Winter. Clint Winter takes
good grab.
Good grab.
I really rate him as a player, and I think he's getting better as he goes on. He's just realised himself that he's up to it. Yeah.
Lockie Heath looks down the ground, out in front of Chapman, Tyler Chapman, and young Cabot. Yep. This should be a good contest. Righto, both going hard for the footy. Footy's come out, and across the line it goes.
Now, you wouldn't believe it. Dylan Cabot's just come off a knee reconstruction, and I'll tell you what, he is still bouncing around as if nothing ever happened.
Yep.
So, good to see.
In his back. Fair enough, the umpire didn't see it that way. Central Air boys have won it. Jesse Stringer out to Keenan Bury.
Oh, well,
out to Squirt. Winner's taken a good mark in traffic, and yeah, he's been cleaned up pretty well. 30 metres out, nearly straight in front. Good effort for the little fella there. Step fair into traffic. Squirto, he's gone back and gone bang. The boys are happy with that.
Yeah, it's certainly a terrific goal.
Yes, great goal, that one.
And he also, he played terrific in all those grand finals, but remember that big tackle that he put off coming up in 2015, coming off the half-back line?
Yeah, Yeah, those sort of things win you the games, don't they?
Oh, well, it seems to be something in the culture at Kyancutta and, you know, Central Air, the 1%er.
Yeah.
That is winning football. Yeah.
So we've still got Dylan Kelsh and Tim Polkey in the ruck, Aidan Whitford, Dale Mont and Nick Sherman.
You got Brucey and Jake Sampson, Jared Sampson, all good footballers in the centre. Yep. Probably
trying to control the ball coming into the lane.
That's holding the ball.
Holding the ball by Nick Sherman.
Squirt Winners wrapped him up and umpire said that's holding the ball. Squirt on the left, he's kicked it out, front of tie, and ball's come to ground at the front. Hawks have picked it up and handballed it out. Squirt might get it back here.
Now, did Squirt run off the wing to get that holding the ball before Fridge?
No, he was in the centre.
He was in the centre? Right.
I think he was in the centre.
I don't reckon you mentioned him.
No, I didn't. He must have been on the wing.
So he pushed really hard to get to that contest and it made a stoppage, and now they've got their ball at their forward 50.
Look at this, the boys are lining up here. Dale Mont, very well done to get hold of that football. He's flicked it out. Hawks have picked it up. Polkey, the big ruckman. He's
Dylan Mont, tackle.
Yeah.
And holding the ball.
He's probably tried to do a bit too much with it there, the big fella, instead of handballing it off.
Probably tried to spin out of that one.
And certainly paid the price.
And Louis Cotton dropped it. You can't drop them ones in a granny.
That was a throw.
Yeah.
Bronte on the money there.
Boys are panicking a bit here, and that's 3/4 time.
There's 3/4 time, boys. And, yeah.
Central Air by 30 points at 3/4 time. And the Hawk boys are really going to have to regroup if they're going to come out in the fourth to have a crack at that.
Yep. No, exactly. That's the, as you said earlier there, Dion, it's a premiership quarter. And, yeah, the boys certainly come out to play. And if anything, they've probably got a fraction of a breeze, but I think it's dropped out to nothing. But certainly a beautiful day. But, hey, look at the crowd we got here. The crowd's going out to the two huddles.
Yeah. Now, it'll be very interesting how Central Air come out in this quarter, whether or not they come out and attack the ball or if they're going to start playing possession footy and just try and control the ball.
I think they'll attack because that's the only way they sort of know how to play footy. So
but then, again, their skills have been absolutely prime today. They haven't had too many mistakes and they're definitely playing to win a flag.
Yep. No, she was a Ty McKenna show there for me. What did you get that quarter? 4 goals?
4 goals and 5 marks.
Yeah.
At least 5, I think.
Yep.
That's been a really big difference.
Yeah, he has. He's turned on, and then they've managed to shut Dale Mont down. Like Dale Mont, got 1 possession for the quarter.
And he had like 20 in the first quarter.
Yeah.
He was everywhere there in that first half.
He'd already above 30 possessions for the half. First half, anyway.
Yep.
Well, that's what it seemed like. It seemed like every time
he was everywhere.
He was there.
Set up for an absolutely brilliant last quarter, right?
It is. Yeah. Except, well, you know, as long as the Hawks boys don't drop their head, should have had a piss.
I was thinking that too.
Should have had a piss.
Yeah!
And of course, Fridgie coaching the centenary game.
That's right. Yeah, Fridgie's been around a long time. Played a lot of his footy here, and yes, he was coached and a bit undermanned this year. We didn't have quite the talent that we needed to go a bit further. I think Central Air lost a few players, and other teams seemed to gain a couple. So we were under the pump all year, but he did his best, and yeah, who knows what'll happen from now on. Let's hope there's a few of the locals come back again.
Yeah, we've got our shit together. Let's all take a quick working, another 20 minutes. Smart footy. Hey, there was talk there. What we're still doing, we're still all going to the footy. And whether it's in the forward lines or the back lines. They had their footy down here, right? We all went down. They had 5 blokes between half forward and about 40 metres out. Ball comes out, it's theirs. We're doing the same thing in the forward lines. Be aware of where you are and what you're doing. Come on. Other than that, hey, real good. We're presenting good to the forwards. Everyone got involved, you know. Ham gets a goal down there. Saxey has a go. Hey, 20 minutes of footy, boys, and let's sing the song.
Come on! Come on,
lads.
Come on, lads. Into him.
So he's a good coach?
Fridgie's a good coach, yeah.
He's a good club man.
good club man. He's always there, always helping. If there's a job to do, he's there to help out.
Yeah.
No. Cantonese, so I think the best player is the best player.
No, all cool. So yeah,
No.
Thanks very much.
No worries.
Thanks very much, Rich.
Thank you.
Yes, it didn't turn out much after half time.
Look, I'll tell you what, your guys played absolutely brilliant. That's what happened. Yeah, fantastic. Like, what a third quarter it was.
Any special comments? Want to say hi to your mum or anything?
Nah, it's all good.
Couple of good heads for radio in here, I think.
Want to say hi to Fridge's mum?
No, I don't even know Fridge's mum. Cam Mont's got to try and pick the ball up. All good bounce.
He's done that well.
Apart, and he's missed it. It's a point.
And that's half
right
time.
on the siren. That's half-time score.
Our half-time score is 6-5 to 4-9. 4-10. That was a Hawks point.
Yep.
So it should have been 6-6, shouldn't it?
No, it's still 4-9 for the Central Air boys.
Yeah, but it's 6-6 to 4-9?
Yep, 6-6 to 4-9. Yep, correct.
There you go, 4-9. Thanks, guys.
Great commentator.
Good commentator, does it very well. He's got the gift of the gab, hasn't he? Like.
He does.
And those little sayings will come out.
Well, the auctioneer comes out.
Yes.
That Kane Sampson got his measure at this stage. So very hot football. Central Air boys have come up with it. There's Lockie Heath. He's made it, he's gone to handball. Now he has
He's
handball.
rode that bump really well too from Dylan Kelch. High ball again.
Ball's come to ground.
Came on. Pushed it.
Keenan Bury.
Dylan Kelch.
He's gone too hard with the handball.
Hard ball for Corey Cabot, and he's missed it.
Yeah. Martin Grokey. Yep, little pig farmer from Coongla. Look at him go. Out to Jared Sampson. Jared Sampson finds Jakey Bruce. Jakey Bruce, he's looked around and he's got...
Martin Grokey, the little pig farmer from...
Yeah, he won a medal. He's the same trouble. He had trouble with knees later on in his career, but when he was going, he was good. Yeah, all them Grokeys are good players.
Out on the wing, Martin Grokey.
He's picked out the more experienced player.
Martin Grokey out in front of Ty Habner. Ty Habner sees on the inside Jake Sampson taking a good strong mark. He's played on, kicked it across to Ty McKenna. Ty McKenna looks forward, sees coach and he thought, no, I'm going to go straight for goal. However, he hadn't made a good fist of it. Ball's bounced, gone sideways.
All defenders? Or?
No, Britt was an on-baller, back flanker, you know, wherever he's in stripe, he put him. He's probably one of the best players that's been at Central Air too, I'd say. He's right up there.
Yeah, I think we were in Melbourne or somewhere like that, but yeah, it's not a bad day at the moment anyway. And good ruck there by Kane Elliston, clearing well from the centre again through young Brad Agars, and a sensational mark there by Brett Grokey. That was brilliant. Yes, he read that well, and he's got 50 to go with it. And Phil Taylor's really taking the show over here already.
Yeah, Phil's asserting his authority on the game, which
nothing much in that I could see.
No, it didn't appear to be, but anyway.
It never usually is. So Johnny Newton's been ball back now. That wasn't much of a 50. It might even been 25, was it? But
I think so. Britt's bringing it out to the wing side. That's a good mark by Fox. He's got Sean Humby on him today. Fox gets it on quick, gets it up to Central Air boy. That's Mossy too, isn't it?
Good football brains.
Yeah, and Aaron, when Aaron first came back from Adelaide, he was as fit as Melly Ball.
Aaron Grokey, built like a brick shithouse.
Oh yeah, yep. He took over the rucking when Gonzo finished up. So I played probably 2 or 3 years against him. He ended up breaking his arm really bad right up here. I was against us guys one day. I wasn't in the ruck, but they locked arms in the ruck, and he come down and landed with his arm behind his back and like snapped it up really high. So I didn't play much after that, and he went training and doing other stuff. So yeah.
But great and ferocious player.
Oh yeah, yep.
It goes down to the centre of the ground. 2-on-1 here. See Greg Burgoyne. And he's been pinged with the throw there, a blatant throw. The umpire couldn't miss it.
I think the first year, that was the 96 he was rucking. And he was third in the medal that year, third in the male medal. You know, he's right up there.
Olsen there, he can't get the ball, they shepherd him out of it. Comes Aaron Grokey, who's beautiful kick to Nev Ire in the middle of the ground. Plays on quickly, handballs to Trev May, he'll do something with it. Usually does beautiful kick, and Lawrence North takes the mark. Plays on. Foolishly got to the goal square, but Central Air 2-on-1 here. They should get a goal easy, and they do. Kick by Richter.
He was pretty aggressive too. We had him and Gonzo rucking.
No one was messing.
No, exactly right. The opposition ruckman used to look the other way a bit.
But Martin, he really impressed me with his 1%ers in defence.
Yeah.
He makes that really big effort you can see in the footage there to be where he needs to be as a defence. Even if he knows he's not going to probably get the footy, he puts himself in the right positions all the time.
He can read the play, but he was a good reader of the play. So he used to play in the middle there when he won his medal and that. He was pretty, then poor bloke, Aaron done his knee too, that was finished him, and then Frog done his. So.
But Martin or Marty they call him?
Marty, yeah.
Marty, he's still playing?
He played a few games this year, yeah.
Oh, he didn't play all year?
No. He played a bit of B grade. He might have played a couple of games A grade too.
He's certainly starting to really slow down.
Yeah, well, that's his trouble. His injuries have caught up with him, I think.
Yeah, very hard man for a long time.
Yeah.
And of course, he played in those late 90s as well.
Yeah. He was. Him and Spog Sampson, them fellas, come in right at the end of it. I think they played in the grand final 2000, That probably would have been their first year, I reckon. Might have been. They might have been there '99.
Oh, we go up and down, but 3 guys today played like Martin Grokey, Kane Sampson, and Niles O'Brien.
Yeah.
Well, no, they played from the '96 4 in a row.
Oh,
3 in a row.
Fox Frisky couldn't take it first grab. Troy's in there working hard. Troy back on the ball again, gets a quick handball across to Neb. Mibbs back in turn to young Thomas. Thomas down into the half-forward area, only to see Nails take another good mark.
This is one of the greatest teams that's ever been assembled.
Oh, pretty much, yeah. We thought we had a good side. Troy come back from Adelaide. I've been playing 19s over there and come back, and we thought beauty. And Kieran Barrett, he come back as well. Beauty, we've got a really good side. We have a crack at this.
Really good side.
And they just, they had about 5 guys come back, so it's just...
They had 12.
12, was it? Yeah. Yep.
Gonzo, Mibbs, back in the ruck. Young Mudge gets one a little bit high. In turn, Fox Fishke picks the ball up off the ground. A quick kick forward. Here's Chico again. Played a very, very good game, and I think he's kicked another goal. The umpire hasn't moved. He has been so dangerous out there on that half-forward flank. And really, this last quarter, he's just been doing it at will. I've been looking for him, poking the ball out in front, let him have a run at it, let him have a grab at it, and he's been finishing the work off.
No worries, Jeff. Yeah, I think there's definitely in their favour now to go out and be easy winners of this game. Central Air, they've had good players all over the green too today.
Yeah, they were a lot, probably a lot silkier side as far as skills and stuff go.
Bucky Binky rates this as the best Central Air team of all time.
Yeah, no, pretty good.
To score. Looking for Kelsey.
Yeah, our '96 side was a good side. I think there was 11 players in that side that had played EP, and I think there was 4 or 5 that had played in the countryside. That, you know...
Incredible.
That year I think there was 12 players that come back that year that didn't play in the Premier League final the year before. And we got hammered in the Premier League final the year before. I think we only kicked about 3 goals. And absolutely smashed it, Wirrallah.
Yep.
And then they all come back. Oh, you know, you had Trev May, Brick Grokey, Aaron, Fox Frisky, there's a heap of them, and they're all. And Johnny Hastings, you know, Johnny Hastings played Port Adelaide. You know, half a dozen of them had a crack in Adelaide, and yeah, it was just a gun side. And they were like, we had Trev was obviously in the centre, but we had 2 wingmen. Kane was playing on the wing that year. Kane Sampson, you know, 6'2". We had another 6'2" bloke the other side, Brock Kennelly.
Just as a luxury.
Oh, and if you got in a stripe, you just kicked out of them, eh? Because they were marking. They were both good marks and players, yeah. Then you had the North and Anthony Richter. I don't know if you heard much about him. He was probably one of the most talented kids I'd seen. He's only 16. I think he kicked 70 or 80 goals that year at full forward. And he was probably 6'4", 6'5". But yeah, he's and Port Adelaide just tried to get him to Adelaide. They got him to Adelaide, and he got into a bit of strife over there with, you know.
It happens.
Yeah, and unfortunately, but he was just so much talent, was unbelievable.
So he came home again?
No, well, I think he went and played and didn't play much footy after that, you know, and they persevered with him for a long time. Port did. They obviously could see the talent there and give him a flick in the end, but he played a couple of games out.
But he played in a couple of these premierships?
Only that 96 one. Yeah.
The next game is for best underground today in the final, donated by Percy Matthews and won by Wade O'Brien.
I reckon we had a pretty young side, and they've been coming along over 2 or 3 years, and we just had the addition of a couple of other players this year, and they
put the ice on the cake for us. I think that the younger, the 17, 18, 19-year-old fellas, they matured a lot more and developed a lot more run in their side, a lot more creativity.
I thought it was a very high standard game, fairly hard. We copped a few injuries early, which really made us work hard, and it was a great credit to the boys to get up.
From the kick, we see Sharkey moved up the ground. Stacks on the mill over there. Sharky's in there throwing his big body around. Now there seems to be a bit of movement over the other side of the ground. I think someone's been hurt there. Doesn't look to have moved at all. Doesn't look good, Greg. A free kick, Anthony North. Back in the direction of Richter. Gets his hands to the ball. Comes over to Steve Bulldog.
Oh, Jesus, he didn't go for the ball either.
There seems to be a bit of a few high tackles. Spark things up. Player in question over there hasn't moved. Trainers are attending him. There's a free kick here by young Greybatch, and that kicks it back in the direction. It comes into Trev May. And Trev would be 20, 30 metres out, directly in front. Shouldn't have any trouble with the distance. Should be Central Air's 25th goal.
What did he do?
And Trev May showing all of his experience. I don't know where he learnt to do those droppies and that. Perhaps his old man taught him. His old man probably taught him, and he's drilled that one straight through the centre. What a beautiful kick there, Greg.
Actually, I missed the highlight of the day. I'll have to watch the video because I had my head in the nose in the bookie, picking out a few best players and missed it. So, yeah, magnificent sight to see.
What's that?
He did his knee in earlier in the year.
Trev May, yeah.
And he managed to play through to the end of the year and played in the grand final, and then had the operation afterwards so he could recoup and play the first game the next year.
Which he did.
Which he did. Not too many have reconstructions and do that, and he worked his arse off.
Not many play that well with a sore knee.
Exactly, yeah.
Furthermore, Nev, what was your build-up like during the week and that training, etc., and that as normal, or was there anything special done?
No, not really. We probably only trained for 3/4 of an hour on Tuesday night, just mainly all skill work. Didn't do hardly any running at all, so we had fresh legs for days. We knew Wirral might blow out a bit the last quarter because they had a couple of hard games, and I think that we proved it today. That's what happened. Thursday night we probably only trained for about half an hour. That was enough, and well, we wanted to keep going, but Dry pulled us up while we was on a high and left it at that.
Picked up now by Fox Frisky, handballed back to young North. He handballs wild, gets Greg Burgoyne, he picks it up and going to run with it. He does run with it well too. Kicks it down long to centre half forward. Shane Kelch is there. He's out bustled by Wade O'Brien, I reckon. He kicks back, kicks to Aaron Grokey in the centre of the ground. They always having a good look, the Central Air boys. A couple here loose they got to pick up too. Aaron goes back with a wobbly old drop punt, goes up to the full forward Richter, who can't mark the ball. Fox Frisky done a great job there to grab the ball off Boulder, give it out to Nevine. He runs in an open goal. That was a bit of good play. He didn't go for the tackle. He went for the ball and grabbed it out of his hands, and it ended up excellent football. And that takes a score, which Wirral didn't really need that goal against them. 7 goal. 7 goal 3 to 1 goal 1.
That was a very good goal by Central Air. Running hard with the ball, taking the chances, running straight at the ball. Ball's the object. That's finals footy.
You know, we just went on from there. We just grew on confidence, and then when we got confident, we just kept moving.
What's the history of Central Air as in the football?
This is our 10th year as a formed club of Central Air. It used to be Warrnambool and Kyancutta clubs, amalgamated, and our 10th year, so we're very pleased to get 2 premierships in the 1 year.
Because you won, what, 4 in a row, didn't you?
Yeah, 4 in a row, A grade and B grade. Yeah, and that's fair effort. We had some fellas playing the B grade that would have walked into most A grade sides.
What about reserves? Was that a surprise?
Yeah, we had some good players, but reserves football is pretty hard to predict sometimes with there was a lot of mistakes made, but those boys also battled on and at the end come out in front, got a break, and in B-grade footy, when you get a break, it's hard to peg back in B-grade.
Yeah, there's some good players in there.
There were some of those guys who played a lot of reserves footy, but were, you know,
still good footballers.
Well, A-grade footballers, basically.
Yeah, they were. We had a lot of A-grade fellas. But we had a lot of depth in those 4 years.
Who were some of the really gun B-grade players? Because I've got that game.
Well, brother Ash, I think he probably won 2 or 3 medals. He's playing in there. They were all had some Chrissy Heath, and you know they were all good players.
Gun footballers.
Yeah, you know they're probably too good for B-grade. Really, playing B-grade. So
yep,
that's the way it was.
Christopher Heath, that one. Yeah, that was Christopher Heath, number 18, running through again, yeah. It's him again, isn't it?
Last year we were really struggling to get a B grade, and a lot of games we had to forfeit, so this year we had to do a lot of work to try and recruit some players, and was all worth it in the end.
2 premierships today, what will that do for the club?
Start to form a bit of tradition, I hope, and maybe we can push on. We've got a fairly young side, and push on and maybe win a few more. Be pretty competitive in years to come.
Well, thanks very much for coming over and talking to us anyway, Nev, and all the best, and that. Hope you enjoy yourselves tonight and probably for the rest of the week. Thanks, mate.
Thanks, Curls.
Come in and see it well smothered there by Craig Cabot. It's a wrestle on in front of us, and Troy and O'Brien. There's a scrimmage right in front of us.
Kill him, Troy!
There's a definite scrimmage right in front of us.
Take it 50 yards down.
Yeah, the umpire's gone with it. He's put the bounce. And you see Broken push the ball forward. And we see Peter Gummer that to receive a free kick out of all that. Still a little bit of pushing and shoving going on. Perhaps this might be enough of that to inspire Wirral. Gummy pushed the ball forward, up to the full forward area, and had to see Sharkey contest up there. Didn't get his hands to the ball. Nev Hoyer gets a clearing kick out into the half-back area. Only to see the ball run over the line for a boundary throw-in. Bit of excitement there, Greg, and that might be enough to get home.
Yeah, well, they need something to spark them up. I mean, they're not running and they're not running in there hard enough. But no way they're out of the game, but the Central Air just seem to be getting their goals a bit easier, and the ball goes onto the wing on the outer side there now and picked up by Hastings Hill. He's getting a ton of kicks in this first quarter. Kicks in the half-forward line. Perry's running at the ball. They're hard. I think he's going to end up. No, she comes back out to Fox. He handballs out to Trev May, who grabs the ball very skillfully, gives it to Lawrence North, who fires back to the centre of the goals, which was an intelligent bit of football, to put it up in the centre of the goals like that and not even aim for the goals, and knew that he'd have teammates there. And I think it is Richter lining up to kick a goal, and that takes a score to 5-3 to Central Air, to Wirral 1-1.
So who was Nails' father?
Nails' father's Peter. He's the youngest of the O'Briens. They were all good. There's 4 of them. They're all good players. Nails, you know, he's been a bit of a legend at the club too. You know, like he's played centre, half back, full back, you name it. He's played it full forward.
Big and athletically gifted.
Yeah, and he's pretty quick for a big bloke.
Yeah.
Bit in the same mould as Kane Sampson, really.
Particularly over that first step, that first metre. In fact, we see a really good shot of him kicking, doing that and kicking the first goal of the 2016 grand final.
Yeah, Minnipa.
No, the one at Warrnambool.
Oh, Warrnambool.
The first goal of the game. 17 was Minnipa.
Oh, yeah, I remember the one you're talking about.
Hayden Heath missed the footy. Whitford's tapped it out in the bottom of the pack there somewhere.
Hotly contested in there, Fridge.
Paddy Fitzgerald sort of picked it up off the bottom, so he got it out. Somehow it's come to Ty Habner, down to Nails O'Brien, who's got it, and bang, he's put the first goal through for the Central Air Dogs.
Look, Nails is up and about too. He's getting around the forward line. Let him know that he's there.
Yeah, 40-year-old man, he's the coach. You know, he's the sort of heart and soul of this side.
Well, tell me about the coaching of that team, because you were around.
Yeah, they were a pretty good team to coach. I wasn't. Nails was the main man.
Yeah, but tell me about his coaching and how that worked, being a playing coach. Because obviously you're the bench coach.
Yeah, I was just sitting on the bench for him, sort of thing. And
tell me about him as a coach.
No, he's a good coach. Yeah.
How does he do it?
He's a good speaker.
Wouldn't it say the Central Air Boys had a lot more of the football? They probably made more use of it in that quarter. Would that be fair to say?
Well, most definitely. Like I said, they were able to move the ball. They will be able. They're always pushing forward. Always pushing forward. You know. Look, I think the horse coach has got his work cut out for him, and I'm pretty sure that board's getting a bit of a workout. But at the same time, the Bulldogs have been able to move the ball forward at every chance they get, whether it be, you know, from the half back here, they're able to find a way, and it's a credit to them. I mean, you can't say it.
Jeremiah?
William, here you go. Not long to go now, mate.
30 minutes. Half an hour. Let's go, dogs. The Guernsey boys all year.
We've talked about what we're up to and how we're playing the game. It's not going to change. We need the discipline though, okay? Right to the end. We're fucking good enough to play 4 quarters of football today. Backline, sensational, running, switching. You're working for each other. It's really good. For Christ's sake, be first to the football.
Come on.
This quarter, let's carry the line a fraction so we're kicking the footy a little bit further in there. So even if it's over the back, just keep pushing it in there a little bit further.
Building.
Come on, boys. 30 minutes of football. Come on. 30 minutes.
Fuck all for the games at least.
Train. We have fucking sweated for each other. This Guernsey, the boys that missed it, it's fucking heap on. 39 footballs we used this year to fucking get our A grade to this spot right now.
Come on.
It's up to the 21 here now to finish this game of football off with a little bit of heart and a little bit of discipline.
Yeah. No, we was trying to get a lot more run out the back lines and that, and then in that time with Frothy and all them fellas back there, they did it well, really.
Lets the ball come over the back. That's Matty Sampson again. No, it's not. Brett McCone. Martin Groki.
Toby Hollett gets a kick between the legs.
The hands to Matty Sampson. Matty Sampson puts on the boot. Jake Sampson.
Kicks inside 50.
And
Nails. Well done, Dylan Kelsh. Good spoil.
Nails has won the footy back. He's picked it up. He's had a shot at goal, and he is goal.
Good footy, Central Air. Good footy.
Does he send a lot of instructions back to the bench?
Yeah. Oh, sort of work together a bit. Yeah.
But does he issue a lot of instructions, or does he set it up and then, as long as everything's okay, he just lets it flow?
Yeah, just lets it flow.
And it's
touched over the line. Hang on.
The line, or is out of bounds?
No, there's been a free or something.
Out of bounds on the full.
Oh, was it?
Oh no, it's free. Must have got him high.
Matty Sampson, he's got the kick on the wing.
Centres the ball.
Centre.
Oh.
And well taken by Lockie Heath. Lockie Heath's got a mate out in Keenan Bury.
Keenan Brewery, he's got a paddock.
He has got a paddock.
Run it in. Phil Hargens, good pressure by
out in front of Nails.
Oh. Good spoil by Derek Freeman just then. Taps it over. Marty Groki.
And Martin Groki.
Kicks a goal.
Kicks a goal.
8-5.
Yep. The Bulldogs boys, I think they can taste it now.
They're starting to celebrate it now.
I reckon she's out the back. She's warming up. I can hear a bit of a whoa.
Bridges brilliant.
Yeah.
Dalmont in the tap for the little fella. Martin Groki's won the footy. Seems to have all day. Puts it up out in front. Oh, too big
Joe
for Joe.
McGuinness gets a hand on it. Probably should have went for the grab. No
Lockie Heath. Lockie Heath to Jake
Phil Hargens chasing.
Jake Bruce on the left.
And it's...
To Brett McComb's taking a very good mark in the goal square. Brett McComb, he's turned 18 today. And what a way to celebrate it for the big fella. The score is currently 18 goal 15 to 10 goal 10.
and you'd think this would make it 19.
Yeah. Not too many players in history have missed it from there.
Oh, I have, I think. Doesn't matter. It's a goal, and yeah, at this stage I think the doggies will be singing the song, and I reckon we'll be in the pub on Monday.
He done a good job, really good job.
And what was his strategy coming into this grand final?
Well, I suppose you just have to see how you go.
Righto, boys, let's go out and play our footy.
Like he made a really good move at half time when he put Jesse on the back flank that day, because Jesse was getting heavily tagged, and that freed him up.
Kano Sampson with a good mark.
And runs
on. Kicks it forward. Nick Sherman spoils it. Jakey Bruce trying to gather the ball.
Out to Jesse Stringer. Jesse Stringer down the wing.
And same with Jake Bruce, you know, like Jake's really good player, but you know, doesn't sort of like the hard, not a hard tag, doesn't like anyone standing him sort of thing, and he gets freed up as trying to free him up all day sort of thing, and you stuck out that quarter. You know, Jake was starting to get his hands on the ball and made a lot of difference because it's a beautiful kick.
So how did he get in that space? He
just sort of playing off a back flank, or
so he played off the other.
No, he wasn't playing off the other back flank, but you know, just try and free him up around the ball and
just telling him to go wherever you need to, probably.
Yeah, and, you know, just keep running. You know, people get sick of chasing if you keep running.
Correct way, and if you've got a licence to, even if you're on the forward flank, look, go wherever you need to.
Yeah.
And that's the key on this small over, isn't it? It's only a kick away from goal from the centre. So here we go. We've got Polkey, Big Kelsey in the ruck. Boys go up. I reckon Kelsey's won that down. Dylan Dalemont's kicked it out the air.
And Jakey Bruce takes a mark.
Jake takes a good mark. He's seen someone on the outer wing, and it's young Connor Dowden again. So Connor, he got the footy there on the forward flank. He's looking out. Ty McKenna's putting a good lead on. He's kicked it out in front of him. And, well...
Good spoil by Derek Freeman,
very good spoil. Ty probably could have gone a bit harder if he needed to. Footy's on the boundary. They're still in play. Hawks have got the footy, kicked it down.
Oh, well done.
And
good gather there nearly, Marty, because it was a terrible bounce.
It was a terrible bounce, but he knew he did it well. Jake Sampson, he got the hands out to Kano Sampson. He's controlling that full back line. He's kicked it out to Tom Freeth. Freethy got the footy. He's kicked it across to the other wing. And you've got young Brucey. Brucey's got the footy. He's back into the centre to Chappie.
Free players everywhere. Like even Polkey was still free.
Boys coming out from the full forward line. And
good mark, Trav Brown.
Very good mark. Very good mark.
Contested possession. Aiden Whitford found some space in front of Jakey Bruce. Mark on the closest wing. And now it's sort of come to a standstill. They've got to sort of regroup, try and find possession, and he kicks it to Marty Grokey.
Jared Sampson read that very well. Jared Sampson puts it out and up in front of Ty McKenna. However, there's a spoil from the Hawks. Jakey Bruce got the footy. He's had a dob at the goals, and it's Nails taking the mark in the square. So, yeah, once again, Central Air boys are keen to get the footy in that midfield and getting it back in there. You'd almost mark this down for Nails from there, surely. Another one to the Dogs. Look at them, they're playing for each other. They've lost the last couple of grand finals to these boys, so, yeah, at this stage, they've certainly made the better of the third quarter.
Yeah. But tell me about this team coming through, because you lost those two grand finals.
Yeah, well, a couple of them, like we had Chuck Heath, you know, he was a really good player, and he went back to Lock, and Keenan went with him. You know, just a few fellas just fielded off. And
that was the end of it, though. What about the start of it, and as those boys started coming through?
Yeah, well, they were working. He was working in Woodner, and you know, Keenan just moved over here. They, you know, just all turned up, sort of thing. Yeah, and then, of course, then Jesse come back. Fitzgerald boys come back, and three pretty handy players there.
Pretty big effort for them lads to do that, come back and play for the whole year. Yeah, it's great. A lot of it, more often, there's more of that being done nowadays.
So they seized the day and obviously got 3 premierships out of it.
Yeah, and then Jake Sampson come up from, he used to play in Lincoln, but his farm's up here now, so. Yeah.
So all local boys?
Yeah, they're all local lads.
Yeah. And this is before even all, like we say, before the Fitzgeralds even came back.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
Kelsey's won that out the centre.
It's a very good tap, but no one read it.
Tom Freeth run off half back, read the footy, kicked it down to half forward.
Just walks around Tyson Montgomery.
Brett McComb got the handball from Hayden Heath. Here we go. Ty McKenna again.
Ty McKenna.
And he's
5 kicks. No, he's missed it.
He's missed it. But he's at least given the Dogs a bit of an option up there this quarter. He's been pretty quiet up until now.
That's right. Like the first half, he's obviously had a bit of a talking to. He's talked to himself at half time there. He's come out firing this quarter.
Yep.
He's going to make hard work.
He's played on out the square. He's kicked down to the wing. Looking for Big Kelsey.
Big Kelsey.
Ball's come to ground. The Hawks have won it back.
Great tackle.
Travis Brown. Oh, they're asking for a throw. It is a throw.
Incorrect disposal.
That's how you win grand finals, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
He's a good little in and under type footballer. So here we go. Keenan Bury got the footy.
Kelsey standing the mark.
Where's his family from? Keenan Bury?
Warrenboo. They got a farm out of Warrenboo there. He hadn't played the last couple of years. He went down and played for Lock.
Really?
Hell, he's like a little bulldog, little terrier.
Oh, he was one of my favourite players in that.
Yeah, same here. Because I was assistant coach this year and the year before.
Oh, really? So you had a fair bit to do with those teams as assistant coach?
Yeah.
Tell me about Keenan Bury.
Oh, well, he's just like a little terrier. You know, remember one day at Warrenboo, he's on the street. I think we played the Hawks that day too. He's out on the wing then, there's 2 or 3 of them, and he tackled every one of them and got the ball himself. You know, he's just a determined little bugger.
Classic Kingdom.
Yeah, he's just a goer. Had no fear.
Can we just have a quick chat about, was it Berry or
Bury?
Bury.
What? Bury?
Oh, what a magnificent game. I would be very surprised if he's not in the top 3.
No, he's
use of the ball, the way that...
He's a tenacious, hard at the footy sort of footballer, and every week he gives you his all, and that's the thing we love.
I've got to admit, I hadn't seen him play too much at all, and I was so impressed, not only with his use of the ball, but the way that he just kept attacking, whether it be one player or 2 players.
He's tough for a little fella, eh?
The usual suspect. He's over there doing a little bit of a jig there, number 11.
Yeah.
He's loving it.
You see him at 3 or 4 o'clock tomorrow morning, mate. He'll be doing a hell of a jig by then.
Wow.
But however, no, he's only come to our club last year. Parents farm in the district. He's moved over here, and he's fitted in real good.
He was huge in all that 3 in a row. 15, 16, 17.
Yep. Him and Jesse make a pretty damaging pair in the middle there.
Jesse was brilliant in 15 in particular.
Yeah, exactly.
And in fact, in 16 he was also absolutely brilliant.
I think he got BAG in both of them, didn't he? Or not?
No, Jared Sampson in 15,
Jared.
but Jesse was brilliant.
Yeah.
He was one of the brilliant ones.
Warrenboo, he got BAG, didn't he?
Yeah, that's right. He was incredible that day.
Yeah.
Nels has gone into the ruck, tapped it back. Jake Sampson's had a crack at it there somehow. Here we go, Jesse Stringer in there, handball, 1-2, has a shot at goal, and he's hit the goal post.
Yeah, so Jesse, bang, bang.
Look at that.
Yeah. Oh, Jesse, Jesse's so... Jesse just never gives the ball up to the opposition, even if he's kicking into the forward line, there's no one there to kick to, he'll just hang on to it.
Sticky hands, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Here we go, Macca.
Missed that
one. Spun in, spun out, straight to the Hawk.
Angus McGuinness pushes it forward.
Here's Macca Heath again. Macca Heath kicks it deep in, the forward line.
Sparky ran underneath it. Not very often he misreads it.
Left-handed handball. Jesse Stringer's ducked around. He's got a couple of options, but he's taken it on the left and kicked another goal for the Central Air Boys.
And it's probably come from the AFL, not to hand it back to the opposition, I suppose. Exactly, and he's brought that into the game here a bit. Quite often you see him, he back turns because there's no one to kick to up the ground or no one to give it to, so he keeps possession of it until, sometimes he might get caught on the ball, but at least he doesn't give it away, sort of thing.
Correct way. Yeah. Constructive.
Dolan's played on.
Plays on. Gets it long.
Ty McKenna got the fist on it. Good use of the body. Back to Macca Heath. Quick handball. To Jesse Stringer.
Come out wide, and he goes across the line. I reckon he actually looked like he went chicken there.
Yeah, keep watching it, boys.
That was Jesse Stringer's dad with the special comments.
So throw in.
Throw in. Good tap away from Kelsey. Back to Jesse Stringer. Found a bit of room. Looked up, got an option to Jake Sampson. Jake's marked virtually on the 50. He a bit far out to score from there, I would have thought. No real options presenting themselves. He's gone back and he's had a go.
Yeah, good kick.
And don't mind if I do. He's kicked a goal from probably 53 or 4 out.
In fact, didn't they just come out with like one of the greatest teams that certainly I've ever seen?
Yeah, it was a good side. Another young Tyler Chappie's another one. They're very skillful player. You know, you don't have to give them much room for them to do a bit of damage.
Tell me about Tyler Chapman quickly.
Yeah, well, I rate him the same as Jake Breach. You know, they sort of if you let Tyler go for a quarter, he'll kill you. You know, kill the opposition because he's both sided. He's got all the skills in the world. He's beautiful to watch.
And he's constructive with the footy.
Oh,
destructive with the footy.
Yeah. No, he's good. He's good to watch them too.
Just finding it out here. Can't hear the voice from the Hawks at the moment. Corey Cabot's just come on.
Martin Grokey paddling in front of him.
Should have stayed on his feet.
Jared Sampson back to Frothy. Frothy nearly into trouble in front of young Cole Tucker. Handball out from Keenan Bury to Frothy. Frothy spun it around beautifully.
That is a great kick, kept it inside.
Kept it back in play. Bit of pressure from Whitford, that's fine. To Ty Habner, handballs to Nails. Back to Hayden Heath, who finds Tyler Chapman. 35 metres out, not quite dead in front.
And like I've said all day, the Bulldogs have found a way to be able to keep moving the ball forward. It's not like the Hawks guys aren't trying. It's just that the doggies are finding a way to keep moving the ball.
Tyler Chapman goes bang, and that's another goal for the Dogs.
It's quite good to see around the league that the Wirrala boys are now pumping the music for the...
Well, back in the B grade, when we were calling the B grade earlier, it was called the... I can't remember what we're calling them now, the Wirrala Tunes, the Wirrala something.
Wirrala beatbox.
It was the Wirrala beatbox, something along those lines.
They can play a bit too though, Graham?
Tyler, no, but he could have went a lot further if he put his mind to it.
Opportunity to score here. Craig Johnson with the ruck, and that comes out to Chapman. Chapman with a long torpedo punt down to the half-forward line. That's young Anthony North. Chips it across to Neville Banky, who's in the centre.
I always thought Dave Chapman was a very good player for Central Air.
Oh, Chapman's, yeah, that's another name.
Dave Chapman, yeah, he was about my age. But yeah, he was probably underrated, I reckon. He was a very good player, left footer, and yeah, used the ball well and was sort of elusive. He was hard to get hold of.
Louis dropping back. Oh, hello, Bucky. I think Bucky might get a free there. Bucky goes back.
Did it well.
Yeah,
he was smart. He should never have got that. He wasn't even in the picture.
Yeah, good mark, Richter. I tell you what, if he, if he gets going, he's fairly damaging.
Just hung out there and pulled the ball down. It's perfect.
He's not a bad kick either. Apparently his kicking has improved a bit, but it shoots. Oh, there you go. It wasn't a.
But as you all know, the club's always been very successful over a long period of time. For a small community, the club's done very well. But as Jack said, I had a fair bit to do with the building of this club. In fact, 2 clubs, to be honest with you. And so we built the first one and thought we had the Rolls Royce of clubs, but we found out, most probably 20 years later, or a bit less, that wasn't quite the real deal. So we decided to build a new club,
and I can tell you that we never stopped serving in this club from the day we knocked the old one down to the new one was built. We had 3 walls here, and we didn't close the bar. There was no roof, there was nothing, just 3 walls. Though on Wednesday nights, Saturdays, we still had the bar open, regardless of what we had. Oh, there would have been a few of us, you was mostly one of them. But yeah, we mostly had 15 or 20 here that made sure that it all operated in the right manner, and of course we all enjoyed it, and we were all here for Kyancutta, I guess, in those days. We were all very loyal to the cause, and I've certainly enjoyed my time with the footy club, cricket club and so on. But yeah, we did have some really good teams in those times, and you know, I can hardly remember losing a grand final, I guess, going back in the 70s and 80s. We certainly really did have good teams and really good players. And I'd have to back up what Buller said, everyone supported each other. You know, I can remember that school teacher coming here and, oh, Christ, he'll never get a kick in a powerhouse. But before he left here, he was playing Mortlock Shield. So it just goes to show that all those players around, well, I call him Mr. Siegel still, but they supported Ian and really made a football out of Ian, and he supported what they were doing to help him. So, you know, that's what can happen if everyone's supporting each other. You don't have to be the best, but if everyone's working for each other, you certainly can make a big inroad into what you want to do.
No. And how many premierships do you win at Kyancutta here?
I played in one and watched the second one because I'd had a hernia operation. 1971. And the thing I loved most about Kyancutta was the community spirit, the sporting, the support, and all those sorts of things. And I think I wrote a bit of a bullshit paper that year, which some of you fellas have still kept. And I still believe all those words I said then, because when the final photo was taken up there at the Wooden Oval, all the boys were lined up who'd played in the grand final and me watching, and I was giving them heaps like they used to give me heaps. And they said, "What are you doing standing over there?" I said, "Well, you played, I watched, get over here." So there in the footy final was somebody standing in his street clothes at the back of the team with the rest of the fellas, and I thought that was just ants pants.
How was the reunion?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I mean, how? What did you make of the weekend?
Of me, fantastic. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, my memory's not too good, but I don't think I'll ever forget that one. You know, I sort of felt a bit. I suppose I can't explain it really well. A bit of an honour to be involved with the club for 75 years and still on my feet, you might say. Yeah, I felt quite privileged of it, being involved with the club for so long.
Well, there's a lot of great people there over the weekend, and
yeah, exactly. Met people that I haven't seen for years and years.
Mm-hmm.
This wasn't quite in my program, but anyway, Dancer Fitz's show. I said it early on. I've been to a lot of family reunions and other reunions, and it doesn't matter how many come, the ones that come always enjoy themselves, and I'm sure you people are here. It's been much bigger than I ever expected. I know there was a lot of people invited, but they're spread all over Australia. Some we couldn't even get in touch with, and I'm really sorry we couldn't get those people. But yeah, much bigger show than I ever thought. Fitz, and I'm stoked.
See if he goes long, he's got a thump and kick on him, plays on.
And that's going to make centre circle.
Centre circle.
Hands
Ben
off to
Brown off to
Watto.
Watto.
Good play.
Watto's got a bit of space to run. Looks long for Webby. Webby's got sport from behind. Rob.
Brody Grote got the fist in there.
It's going to be a ball up, I think. They're all jumping on top of it.
And that got there pretty quickly.
That was a good transition.
It was.
been working on that a bit, trying to get that transition from
halfback.
Yeah.
Most potent footy from halfback. It's a tie on the left.
Wide.
Reggie Noddle's got that.
Good juggling grab, it was a good one.
Yeah, it was. He's had quite a game today.
Turns and looks long.
It looks like Zachy Fitz has got a bit of space here. And he's turned and gone. And he's backing himself for a snag here. And he's got it. That's a good goal for the Central Air boys.
Back to 1 point.
Yeah. Yes, pretty handy in today.
Yep.
The worst part about it, Gus, the reason we couldn't go under bed with Warramboo over the show because they were 8 years behind us, so we've got to go through this again in 8 years' time. So what's that mean? More tucker, more grog and more good times?
They've always been close. I went to school at Warramboo and a lot of my good mates are from there. And I suppose that's only the reason I turned out to be the first president of the Central Air Club. And I congratulate the guys that were on those first committees that took it on to set up Central Air. I know we cleared 36 players from the 2 clubs prior to the start of that season, so the writing was on the wall, we had to do something. And I believe Lord Wagner told me last night that in the minutes at Warramboo, Teddy Sampson was the one that moved that Warramboo amalgamate with Kyancutta and set the wheels in motion. So a lot of the people up here at Kyancutta probably thought Teddy was a tough bloke and all Warramboo, but really he knew what he was on about when it came to football and keeping both clubs in existence through Central Air. And I must say, the Central Air Footy Club have been terrific for us few guys that are left that played in Kyancutta. They've been hands down working with us, setting up, getting the Guernseys funded. We had no money to do anything. And I must say, after that Guernsey presentation, well, I know where I'm going to get the rest of the money to pay for the weekend.
Right, number 23. Big Kano, she was straight around to this today. Regarding number 23, Bobby, draw balls was 23, wasn't it? Yeah, anyway. But, probably one thing with number 23, Big Kano Sampson, yeah, played a huge stalwart for that club. He's gone from being the president, best, fairest, captain, he's done it all. And, yeah, for a bloke 42 years old, I think he is, about to be 42, still running around 40, about to be 42. Anyway, but, hey, and, yeah, probably the best footballers that have played for that club, can't have all that today, so I don't know. Not sure he was for Kyancutta back in the day. But 23, $400 with Martin Garkey. 400. You said 400. That's what I mean, you've got 400. Is that right? Yep, 400 I have. Is that 20? 400. 400 make it quick instead of bid? I think it is. 20 this way. 5 now. Look at this. 500 already. 500 already, so make it the point. 500. 520. 520 right in the corner. Make that 40. 540, 60. 560 this way. 560. 580 in the coast behind me. 600 in the corner. 20. 620. 620. Make that 40. 640 this way. 640 right in the back corner. 660. 660 I have. Hold on to 660. She's shaking it the wrong way. Is that a bid, Rummy? 80. 680. 680. 700. 700 I have. 720. She's looking a bit cross-eyed now. $700. Hold on at 700 I sell. Done. 20. 720. 720. Keep it on, mate. 720. The bid's right out this way. quarter. 40, he says, is only money. 50. So 40, he's 740, and the bid's yours. All done at 740. There's not a $10 anywhere. 740, oh, 50. 750 right in the corner. 750. I think $10 has got it. I think $5 has got it. 750 for the second. Can I say I was going to say 755, but 760, yes. 760 for the second, the third. What will I make for $760?
I'm glad you didn't ask me about best players. God, I've seen bloody heaps of them, and I think a lot of them are out there on the field in that red, white and blue jumper, which is my heart and soul, Central Air. So thank you all for coming. There'll be a barbecue lunch for anybody that can crack up tomorrow, and those that are travelling on, thanks for coming again, and have a safe journey home.
Well done, guys. You don't have to look at us now, show's over.
Leave for that for the moment. Thanks very much, Henry McKenna. You're a legend.
No worries, thank you. Oh, no, you made it pretty easy for me.
Yeah.
Not as good as this review and thing.
That's the way it's got to be. Like I say, it's not like a normal interview that I do.
No, fair enough.